And she should be live any moment. Done. Now we're going. Hey everybody. It's the weekly
Yo,
Alaboom.
yo.
The longest running weekly live show on YouTube. And again, it's like, can we put that to the test? I mean, and somebody, Scott usually, Aldi would usually ask, well, how do you know? What do you mean? And like, then I'll say there was one guy that did like a weekly painting thing where he
Was it Bob Ross?
no, he painted like uh minis. He painted Warhammer minis
Got it.
and talked about the hobby. And he did it with a couple of people.
No, he
And
didn't. Bob Ross didn't paint minis.
God, he would be great at it though. Can you imagine?
Right. I'm just gonna put a happy little bloody
I
thump
mean, I
here.
mean, seriously. I mean, obviously, like he's no longer with us, right? Which is sad. But I mean, but think about like if you had a like Warhammer like Tyranid army, like I have a 10,000 point Tyranid army painted by Bob Ross, and
Oh, that'd be
everything looked like happy little trees and shit, and just like and glaciers, like if you put them all in a row, like it made a picture, like all stacked up.
that'd
Man,
be pretty epic.
that would be pretty amazing. I mean, yeah, that would make me happy if I owned that.
Oh, look, Scott,
Yeah.
number two is here.
Oh,
Yeah.
zing.
Was that a
Well, Mr.
snap?
Demers, Scott too got in before Aldi Prime. So,
Oh, yeah.
um,
Got a little mini Canada Dry.
hmm.
Like, so we did an Insta. Do you guys use Instacart? Am I the only bougie one that uses it?
You're the bougie guy that
Yeah, because I
can't.
don't
I
want to
just I
shop,
just
right?
got
Like
back from the
it's
grocery
worth the
store.
time. I don't like to spend the time.
Groceries. What a weird word. What a weird
Grocery. Oh yeah,
weird
well, I
word.
heard people use this thing called groceries.
Yeah, what a weird strange
Groceries. Is
word.
it called groceries?
Ugh.
Yeah, groceries.
Anyway, so I ordered a 12 pack of Canada Dry, and I got two 12 packs of mini Canada Dries.
So,
Meaning they
Well,
didn't
if
have
you
the reg. Huh?
well, basically, you ever use Instacart?
No.
You tell them what you want, and if they don't have the main item, and by default, it is use your best guess or whatever, your best match. Use your
Right.
own brain. But a lot of times they sometimes will message me and be like, "Is this okay?" And I'll be like, "Sure." But this guy did not message me. He just did this.
you,
And
you
we're
you
fine.
get what you get.
He followed the directions. But there's a lot of things where if it's like no match, I just say refund. Like don't
What's
don't
what's the cost of using Instacart?
uh I signed up for their Instacart Prime, which is another subscription fee, which I don't know the price of it per month, but maybe like $20.
Got it.
But then I usually give like a pretty hefty tip.
So
So
what
when
what
I
does
order
what
stuff, I order like a ton of stuff, right? So I only do it like once a month or maybe like twice a month.
can I ask
Hmm.
what
And it's like,
Instacart Prime gets you? Like what is
yeah,
the
you don't have to
bonus you
pay,
get?
you don't pay the delivery fees. It's just, it's like,
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
you
I
don't,
got it.
it's just I mean, I don't know. I think the fees are probably, I don't
See,
know.
there's the fundamental difference in our lives, Scott, in that for me, I want to get out of the house every once in a while, even
Oh
if
yeah,
it's for
sure.
nothing to like, for example, I made some, it's fried chicken esque, but it's baked. And I made it tonight and I'm up in the mountains. It was delish. I was thrilled with how it turned out. And I was so excited because I had to run to the little mountain market here and pay twice the normal cost to get some baking powder
For the pleasure.
for
For
the
the
pleasure.
pleasure of,
So
of
it's
shopping.
$9.99 a month or $100 annually. I think I do the annually, so I save $12 or something.
Right.
Um,
Got it. That's
which
not
it
bad.
also, by the way, it also includes a Peacock subscription, so that's a bonus. Like
Hey, Peacock's
Peacock,
got some good stuff.
yeah. So
I'm not a television guy.
uh,
Oh,
yeah.
you're just above it.
I am
Well, you
above
know
it.
what's on Peacock that's great is Poker Face. Are you guys? We
Yep,
talked
that's a good
about
show.
Poker Face. Okay.
We did, I
Anyway,
think.
so then I mean, your real money comes from the tip because it is I do a pretty good tip because I'm basically making them bring me almost 2 cars full of groceries. I mean, it's a lot,
What?
but like cases of drink,
Yeah.
like if you unless you got like a big trunk, I mean, you'd be doing your trunk plus your back seat,
Right.
and I've seen them do it like because I order a lot of drink.
Got
I've
it.
moved, I've moved to the water, by the way.
These are high class
This is my
problems
main
you have.
drink. Yeah, yeah. Anyway,
So
neither me or Michelle really like to shop, but like, and we don't cook much, so it's really just ordering like, you know, basic stuff like sodas and drinks and snacks and milk, coffee, crap like that.
Got it.
so
You don't like to cook. What do you guys do for food?
We usually order
they,
or
they
go
just
out.
they just go out and absorb the energy from the sun. You know.
So today we went to a place called Cindy's Diner, which is a local diner that is, and I had a breakfast for dinner. I had eggs and sausage.
Yeah, Brenner.
Brenner?
Is that what you call it?
Yeah, Brenner.
I never called it. I never heard of that.
It's breakfast or dinner.
Sure.
You know. If you ever watch the old show Scrubs, like that's um the one guy said, it's like I convinced my wife to make me Brenner. You got breakfast for dinner, and they're all like excited about it.
Nice.
Yeah, that was
And
but yeah,
last night we
Brenner.
had leftovers because I did cook on the weekend, so we had taco soup.
Oh, that's cool.
And taco soup.
Taco soup is good.
Yeah,
I
my
like taco
recipe
soup.
is good.
So, one of my favorite stories. So when like now it's pretty standard, right? But there was there's a place called Cashwise Foods. It's in this area, and it's a bunch of crap because all of the grocery stores that are located up here are all owned by the same giant company. They just have
Yep.
different names for the stuff.
Yep.
So, but anyway, I had a friend who well, I mean, I still have him. I haven't talked to him in quite a while. I saw him at like a Super Bowl. Like that's the last time I saw him. But
It was ages
he,
ago. That was like a lifetime ago.
yeah, it was a lifetime ago, right? So anyway, he was like he had some like health issues and stuff that I'm not going to go into, but so he was just kind of just usually just staying in at his apartment and like not really going out and doing anything. And strangely enough, he became when there was a horrible axe murder in his apartment building.
I know about this.
What?
Like like this is like a while ago, but he was like one of the few people that was home and saw the people like bringing the body out in sheets and stuff and putting him in the trunk of the car. He had just because he was like kind of anyway. But that's another story for another time.
That's a story for another time.
But anyway, the big thing is that he was like so it was one of these things where they actually had a thing where you could order online, like they set up a website in like 2002, like it's to order you could buy groceries and then it was free delivery, and they delivered them for free.
Yep.
And so he thought he thought
Walmart
he
also does a delivery.
yeah. But he thought he wanted ramen. He just wanted some ramen, and he thought he ordered
99-cent ramen.
Well, he just
10
he just
for a
wanted
dollar,
whatever
10
like
for a
that.
dollar. Yeah.
You know you're thinking of. He
Yep.
said, it's like, oh, I just want a dozen ramen, just to have, so like something easy to cook when you want to eat it. And I still enjoy a ramen. Like if I cook a ramen, like those packets, I'll like take a hard boiled egg and I'll put it in it and stuff like that too, just to spice it up a little bit. The guy showed up. He got 12 cases of ramen. He had no idea that he had screwed it up, and he's like, so he ended up like he that was back when we played a lot of poker, and he'd show up and play poker, and he just whoever hosted poker, he'd bring him like, here, you have a case of ramen, because he was never going to eat it all.
I will raise you a case of ramen at a poker.
I had to stop eating ramen because I could feel it in my hands.
What does that mean?
The saltiness of it would make me like would retain water.
Oh yeah, the sodium.
Like I could feel it.
Ridiculous.
Like I would be like I'm making a fist and I can feel in my
the liquid
system. Yeah. So I'm like, yeah, I'm done with ramen.
That's hysterical.
I mean, I knew somebody.
I haven't eaten in like a decade, but
yeah. I knew somebody that used to that I worked with that would um I don't know how, but like they would get extra packets of the flavoring, and maybe they ordered them directly from the company or something like that. But
Yep.
he
Like a
like
bouillon cube.
yeah, but no, it was like the actual packets, and like they go and they microwave it up at my job, and then they put in like 2 or 3 of the packets of the flavoring, and I was just like, oh my God. It's like one of them is too salty for me, but they were just like, no, it tastes really good like this. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me.
You're like, oh, okay. That's
Yeah,
funny.
but yeah, no, I mean, um, I have several grievances that I want to share this evening.
Really?
Yes, I mean, well, no, and there's the obvious ones, right? That we all would love to discuss, like something that's preying on our minds. But we'll have more people. Oh, and for those who were wondering, I did talk to my boss Shane, and I told him that he needed to show up tonight, and he said, I don't know, maybe I will, maybe I won't. And I was like, come on, Uncle Shane, show up and lay out some common sense for everybody. But
Right.
so
Yeah,
he's
Uncle Shane, come
Uncle
on.
Sh- grumpy Uncle Shane. Get a couple of Budweisers in him, and then maybe
Double
we can,
Budweiser.
and then he can give us I'll let you know what I think about this fucked up country that's going on right now.
All
But
right.
anyway, um, here's a very small one. So like there's a video game series. So I mean, I'm not going to bore you with the video game talk a lot about, because I know there's some things that are weird, but um there's a sports games like Madden is like a staple, but it's if they don't, because they mean if you go dive into the whole thing about Madden, how like the Madden franchise has like all the rights to every single
Yep.
NFL, like they can't, like nobody else can make an NFL game,
Yep.
and it doesn't expire until like for a few more years.
Yep.
So they have no, it's the only NFL game, so they don't have any competitors and they don't need to make it any better. But the same company, they make the NCAA college football game, which is
Yep.
exceedingly better because they don't NCAA can farm it out to whoever they want. And so they don't own the rights to the NCAA one. Regardless, the whole point of what I'm getting here is that the MLB the show, they consistently have a good baseball game every year. They make a consistently good baseball game. I've been playing MLB the Show. I've been probably getting it since every year, 2018 or so. Just
So I'm still here. I'm just gonna go grab a beverage downstairs. Be right
yeah,
back.
you're fine. And so one
You
of
guys the dragon.
the thing that I really enjoy, I didn't realize I was on the cover of Dragon's Den.
Are you the model? Are you the model for the cover of?
I did that Studio Ghibli of the box cover, and that's what I got. It's kind of cool.
That Studio Ghibli thing is pretty funny.
It is pretty funny.
It
Steph
is.
sent me some pictures of her and Michael, and they're like really good.
Isn't that AI art though?
Yes,
Yes.
I
it
mean, I don't know.
100% is
I
AI.
don't think we should be messing with it. But regardless, anyway, it doesn't matter.
Cat's out of the
Um,
bag, baby.
okay, just we're moving on.
Genie's out of the bottle.
So I want to so one of the mode that I really really enjoy playing in MLB the Show is you create a character, and like you play in high school, and then you get to go to college, and maybe you get drafted, and then if you get drafted you get to decide if you want to go right to the Major League Baseball or if you want to go to college instead. And then you go to college, and you can go through your college career, and then you get drafted, and then you start in like the minors in baseball, and you work your way up into the pros or
Or
whatever. So I've been
what happens if you don't get drafted? Do you just like you get
well,
a job, job
Then you go off.
simulator?
No, then you go off and you get a job, and then you end
Yeah.
up
Yeah,
working.
is
no,
it, does it turn
I
into
mean,
Job
you
Simulator?
can you can see videos of people that like purposely do horribly, and they still like they become an undrafted free agent, and then they so it's just
You always end up on some kind of team.
yes. So anyway,
Okay.
so
Totally.
my character, and I always make him, and I always because the whole thing is like if you pick a name, you if you pick a name that like if I put in Lance Mikester, the Lance they would say Lance, but if there's no way on earth they have the audio for Mikester. So my son's name is Caleb. His middle name is Michael. So I always put down Caleb Mike as my character's name. So it's like Caleb Michael from Moorhead, Minnesota. They actually, and they'll and they. So, but anyway,
You have Caleb?
yeah,
Yeah.
because there's Major League Baseball players with the name Caleb. So, and they have the audio for if the name has been used
Right.
in Major League Baseball, they have it.
Got it.
Anyway, circling all the way back to the whole point of this is that so midway, like I made it to AAA baseball. I was in AAA for like less than a month, and he gets called up to the Boston Red Sox, so he's pitching. And for the rest of the year, he's in the major leagues. He went 14-1 as a pitcher with an ERA of just over 1. With and just basically crushed. He won the Rookie of the Year. He won the Cy Young, meaning he was the best pitcher in the American League. He was third place in MVP voting. And when the Boston Red Sox went to the playoffs, they left him off the playoff roster. They're like, well, it's like you were not chosen for the playoff roster. I'm like, what? Hey, Rookie of the Year, Cy Young, we got it from you. Don't worry about it. You go take a nap.
That's like, actually really funny.
Yeah, it's just because it had to be something where it's like because like he only had like he was 14-1 in 16 starts, right? So it's like he didn't have as many starts as the other pitchers and things like that. So it had to be like some internal thing where they're like, oh, you don't have as many innings as everybody else, even though you were amazing. And I was just like, that was I mean, and then the Boston Red Sox lost in the first round of the playoffs, and I was just like, well, that's what you get for not taking your star, to the.
So you were upset about your
grievance?
imaginary career?
Well, no, I was just, that's annoying, right? I was like, cool, now I get to go play the playoffs. I mean, this is going to be cool. What? Just it reminded me of you. There was an old game for the Sega. There was a boxing game. It was called Evander Holyfield Boxing, and it was super, super fun. Like you trained up your boxer, and you started off like it was kind of like Little Mac and stuff like that, but you named your character, and then you just slowly moved up, and like you did different trainings. So you'd have speed and power and stamina, and you'd box in these different boxing matches, and you'd slowly like climb up the ladder to get to Evander Holyfield, so you could box against him at the end. And I remember I was sitting there. What'd you say? No. But I remember I was sitting there going through all this. And I remember I was playing it, and I was like, okay, I made it to the number 2 spot. Like the next match I'm gonna have is against Evander Holyfield. And all of a sudden there was this, and like Evander Holyfield will pop in. It's like, looking good, kid. Keep it up. It's like, and it keeps going down, and it's just like, and then it was like he comes on. It's like you're getting a little long on the tooth. You might want to think about putting the gloves away or something like that. And I was like, all right, next boxing match is against Evander. I think it's time for you to retire. And they retired my boxer. Like I was like right before I found him. And I was like, what? It's just like, all right, me and you, Amanda. No, you're retiring.
Wow.
And that was because I took too long to get to him because I was trying to like maximize my stats. Like because after every boxing match, you'd get to take things that would increase your stats. And I was trying to maximize my stats. So I was taking my time to get to him and like, kept on. And so I took too much time. But yeah.
Here's the lesson to take out of all of this, Scott, is holy shit, Lance has a lot of time on his hands to be.
I did that when I was like 16. I mean,
no way, even the idea of like going, hey, I want to play a game about the major leagues. So first I'm going to start playing high school baseball.
It's fun.
Yeah.
I don't know where people have time.
You make time.
Ugh. That sounds like work to me.
I'm sure you do things that are fun every once in a while. How do you make time for those things?
I don't. You're wrong.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess you showed me.
That's a good comeback. Well, I guess you showed me. Your life's way worse than mine.
Oh, my drink tonight is a Arnold Palmer Arizona iced tea.
My drink tonight is Mountain Dew Zero.
Have you had the Baja Blast Zero? It's quite good.
Ugh.
Oh my god, I love Baja Blast Zero.
Really? So
Yeah.
you see, I accidentally bought a 12 pack of that a while back, and I still have. This is like 2 months later. I still have
Still got it.
about half of it left.
Oh,
Because
really?
it tastes it like I think if that's what Mountain Dew was, I'd go, man, I really like that Baja Blast. And then they come out with this other flavor that is what is now Mountain Dew, and I'd go, ooh, it doesn't quite taste right. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like it's just different
Yeah,
enough.
it's like yeah, it is different enough.
So
I
I will
didn't
say I didn't mind when I didn't have Mountain Dew Zero. I did drink some of it, and it was okay.
It's
It was
no Dr. Pepper Black Cherry Zero, which is like it's so freaking good.
if I
It's
ever
like,
leave this call, it's because I'm offended by what you claim are good drinks.
what's wrong with you? You don't drink Dr. Pepper?
I don't know. I like Dr. Pepper and Dr. Pepper Zero. I don't like to I don't like to combine my cola and my citrus.
Well, it's not real citrus, just so you know.
No,
Um, no, I like uh the Black Cherry Zero. I mean, like, it's one of those things. So here, maybe you can. Here, I'll just quickly.
is Baja Blast
So
new? Because I don't remember it ever being in the store
so
before.
you see there's my aquarium back there,
yep.
obviously, and then that thing with the Cthulhu on top of it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the drinks fridge or whatever.
Hmm.
So, that's got, like, it's just got sodas. I remember I was like, okay, I'm probably just gonna get a drinks fridge down here because, like, this is where we play games and stuff like that.
Yep.
I like my Black Cherry Zero so much, I don't put it in the drinks fridge. So, like, the my son and his friends don't just guzzle it down because I get 4 or 5 of them over. I just see them just, and it's like it's tough to get a hold of. It's tough to track down sometimes. Like, I found a 12 pack of it. I found a 12 pack of it. You can't
Which
probably
one?
see it, but it's like on the, you can't see it. Anyway.
Which one are you
But
talking about?
the Dr. Pepper Blackberry
Oh,
Zero,
black. Well, you should
Black
keep
Cherry.
should keep it secret.
Well, I know I do, but I have
It's
my
finished.
12 pack. I found one the other day and I was like, oh my gosh, I found some. I was like super excited. I mean, you know how mad I am that I can't find Pib Zero anywhere? Pib Zero tasted
Travesty.
so freaking amazing. It was so good. And I haven't been able to find a 12 pack of Pib Zero.
You know, Nikki wrote to the Dr. Pepper company to complain about remember the it was like vanilla cherry chocolate something or other. Like it
Yeah,
was
I remember that.
like
Yeah,
a
yeah, yeah, yeah.
combination. Like she wrote to them. She was that
Yeah.
obsessed with that drink. And they're like, she's like, could you please bring it back? And they're like, no, sorry. And they didn't even give her nothing. They didn't give her like no coupons or nothing.
I should contact
A letter.
I should
Like a literal,
contact them.
like handwritten letter.
I should
But they
contact
responded to her.
the Pib people.
You could.
I need to
What else
tell
you got? I
them.
wrote, by the way, if you write your senator and representatives, you might get a call. I've been answering my phone now just in case, like someone's
Just
calling.
in case.
Yeah, just in case. And then if I don't hear anything, like if it's just like, may I speak to the, whatever, I'm like, hang up.
I always just assume
I
they
think
tell me to.
I like the way my dad handled those kind of calls. My dad would actually talk to those people. He'd go, "Oh, that sounds really interesting," and then he'd just set the
You
phone
just set
down.
the phone down.
Yeah. I remember he
Yeah,
was
I feel
telling me a
bad
story
about
one
that. I
time
would
of
just hang
how
up.
somebody called, like a telemarketer called him, and it was actually something he thought was pretty interesting. He goes, "Oh, what the hell is that? That sounds pretty interesting." And it was obviously not a native English speaker, so who heard the word hell and goes, You cannot use that kind of language with me." Click, and hung up on him. He was like, "Oh, I wanted to hear about that product." I'm like, "What? Who wants to hear about stuff?"
So I got a grievance.
Fire
Lay it
away.
on me.
My grievance is with the IRS. We have talked about this before. Have we talked about this?
Yes. Yeah, I remember you talking about
Well,
lay it.
the grievance. Well, here's the thing. I guess I have a grievance, and then I have like a denouement of the grievance. I don't know, like an outcome of the grievance. So I filed for what is called God, I forget the name of it. Form 8806 to prove that you're an American a company paying taxes in America, right? It is
Yep.
a $100-something fee to pay. Let me see if is it for, maybe it's not $100. Maybe it feels like it's like 80-something dollars. Anyway, it's annoying, right? Like something that should just automatically exist that people could look up in a database somewhere. Oh yeah, this company paid taxes in America. They're an American company. They're registered in America. Like, anyway, it's really annoying. It's not Form 8806, but something like that. Anyway, so I filed for it on the very first day you could file for it in December. of 2024 because I need it to give to my Polish customers to prove that I'm American taxpayer so they don't withhold their Polish taxes, right?
Right. Yep.
Anyway, long story short,
Yeah, I have to do that. Yeah, I totally
no
understand, 'cause-
response from the IRS, nothing until February 6th of 2025. And I got this letter, and it is now that I've looked at this letter a few times, I've like this is like I'm like a Sherlock Holmes with this fucking letter. It is
Ah,
addressed incorrectly. My address is wrong. My EIN is wrong. EIN is like a social security number
Yep.
for companies. And I'm like, what? And this letter says, we have received your request for a form, whatever, and we will respond to you within 30 days. And I'm like, oh, cool. And I kind of sort of just tossed it aside. But then I looked at it again. I'm like, there's a typo in my EIN. And then I wrote to my accountant and I'm like, should I be worried? She's like, well, probably not, because in the corner it has the correct EIN, which I did not see. Right.
Yep.
She's like, no worries. But today, when I got on the phone, I wrote my accountant. She's like, just call them and see what they say. I got through like instantly, like no wait time, nothing. Boom, answer the phone. A very thick foreign accent, like an Indian accent. I'm like, oh, is the IRS outsourced? Not, I'm sure not, right? It's American, but it
Yep.
was so thick, it was reminding me of talking to like outsourced, help desk stuff. Anyway, we go through all of the security protocols. My address is incorrect with the IRS. It's going back to like 10 years ago or 6 years ago when I lived in my other house. So
Yep.
they're like, we need to verify your name. I'm like, okay, who are you? Like, EIN, name of the company, your address. Address is, he's like, address is wrong. I'm like, hmm. And I'm like, well, is it this number? Because you thinking that you typoed my address by sending me the letter, you've still got it in the system wrong. No, it wasn't that. So then I go back to my old address, and that was it. So I got past the security checks, right? The high level security checks to make sure it
Yep.
was me. Anyway, I start talking to him, and I explain everything, and he's like, "We sent the letter like a month ago." Like, well, I never got it. And then I told him, after looking at this letter very closely, it has got the typo in my address. It is not the right number. And so, okay, go through the whole rigmarole of rechanging it. Puts me on hold for about 10 minutes.
nice.
Wow, this is a lot. I mean, it's like, okay, this is like, should this be like a simple thing? Anyway, so finally got it resolved. Got my new number. He's reading it to me like letter by letter. Like, instead of just saying what it is, he's like, blah, 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 exactly spelling it out. And I was like, yep, that is it.
I like Andy's
Is that
suggestion
your
that you
name?
just lean into it and be a Polish company.
There you go.
Yeah, well, I don't know. That might get me
in.
interested. I might. I don't want to. I'm going to make a bad joke, but I'm not going to say it.
All right.
What's the worst that could happen?
What's the worst could happen? Sent to El
Right.
Salvadorian jail.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyway, whatever. Anyway, there's
So
my grievance. IRS.
I have.
By the way, I don't know if you guys have been reading about the IRS. They want to gut it. Like
Yeah.
they have nobody working there anymore.
Right. Right.
We live in the weirdest fucking timeline right now.
I want a different alternate timeline. I want to be in one
How
of
do
the
you
alternate
reset
ones.
that? Is there like can we get an infinity stone?
Right?
Infinity Stone.
I'm trying.
Do a little snap?
I'm trying.
Yeah, no, it sucks.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I have a grievance. It's related to tariffs, but it's not. But tariffs isn't the mainstream thing.
Well, tariffs suck. Let's just say that right now.
Well, didn't you hear it? They were all just set to 10%.
No, except for the
Globally.
China ones.
Oh,
Except for the only one that matters.
Oh, that one. Oh well, that's coming tomorrow. Don't you guys realize? No big deal, no big whoop, right?
For me, it's the turds that have gone on. See, I told you everything's going to be fine as the stock market goes back up, and you're just like, no, it's just
no, it doesn't. So
it doesn't
do I get
shit.
Do I get to?
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
There's Lance. You just
sidetracked.
So my grievance is actually about the people who are saying things publicly like, well, I don't understand why everybody's getting so taking it so personally. Board games are going to cost a little bit more, but so what? Or If I have to go without board games in order to make China be fair with us, that's, for a little while, that's okay. No, that's not actually the situation. I am staring down the barrel of a over $100,000 additional tax, right? And
People don't really realize that.
well, some of these people do, and they just don't care. Like they think like I guess
Yeah,
so.
it's all abstracted to them, right? They don't really.
Here's my grievance. Like even the people who say, yeah, and this is like, by the way, this is a pretty broad grievance. Even the people who say, well, I live in Europe, so this won't impact the price of my games. No, that's incorrect. If 80% of the games, which is approximate for us, 85 even, of the games were sold in the United States, that subsidizes the print run that goes everywhere else. If that is now costing me an outrageous amount of money, I don't have that subsidy anymore to offset your VAT, the cost of printing a small number of games to ship to the EU or to Asia. So my grievance are the people who take such and I'm going to resist all urges to curse here, but people stop taking such a me-centric view of the fucking situation. It is destroying companies and destroying people who just want to bring pleasure to you, just want to share a dream and an imagination with you. And it's not about you. Sorry, it's not. Right? It's about something much bigger than that. Um, and you, Scott, I'm sure feel it. Your entire company is based on this industry, right? I mean,
Yeah, no,
Lance,
it's. I was
it's
trying to tell my dad about this today, and he didn't really quite grasp it.
yeah, no, my dad is a Trump supporter, so I'm in a pretty major family squabble at this point as to whether I see him again or not in my lifetime, in his lifetime. Like that level of fuck you, right?
Wow.
Like it's outrageous.
Yeah.
Outrageous.
Yeah.
But
So my
anyway,
my most recent thing that drove me crazy is that the I've started to hear from and see the people that are like that, and I'm not going to name any names, but there are people within the industry that I know are Trump supporters, and these are the ones that are taking this kind of, I just can't believe people are so angry right now. I just can't believe, maybe we should just take a moment and breathe. Maybe, we're all going to have to work together. No, fuck you. No, it goes beyond the economy of everything for me. And like this whole thing where it's like, oh, it's like we can have a difference of opinion as far as who we vote for and we can still be friends. No, I don't want to be your friend because you actively voted for something on numerous levels that is
yep.
just entire bullshit.
It's
And
not political, it's moral.
yeah, and it's just like, and it's like you are like the ones that drive me the most crazy are the ones that I know that they don't have a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of, but they've been sold a bill of sale that tells them it's like, well, this is the morally, ethically, religious, whatever you want to call it. This is that because everybody else, these progressive blue-haired, fuckers that don't want to work, they're the ones that are draining your money, not these fucking people that giant sacks of cash on their carrying it to their fucking out their door every single day, get rich off your blood and sweat. But they're just so willfully naive because they just feel it's like, yeah, I mean, I I'm one of those things where it's like I will do business with those people. I will like say that's cool, fine. It's like we can, but as far as like a friendship, fuck that. No, fuck that. Because and here's the deal. It's like the Republican Party wants to actively make I scared Scott. I scared Aldi off. What is that? They want to actively make um uh life difficult for people that I love
Yes.
because of who they are, because of
Spot
uh
on, Kabuki. Spot
I
on in what you just posted. Which is Like my dad's like, well, there are political differences. No, it's not political. It's not political. It's moral.
Yeah. Being LGBTQ. I mean, that isn't political. That's a fucking person's right to like exist and have a life. And the fact that they're like, well, yeah, we did deport some people that we probably shouldn't have deported, but here's a court order, bring them back here because you shouldn't be fucking imprisoning them. Well, we'll try. I mean,
Right.
we are
I don't
imprisoning
even
these
think they said they
people
were going to
and
try.
No,
then
they're
fucking
fighting it. They're fighting it. They're raising it to the Supreme Court. Like if you take it to the Supreme Court to prevent a single individual that you accidentally deported from an El Salvadoran prison, you're just fucking evil. You're an evil human being. And frankly, this is the reason why I'm not Christian anymore, is because of the overwhelming support for evil. Like and the message I've been just telling my friends who are Christian, I just said, look, you worship the Antichrist. I'll pray for your soul, and hopefully you'll see the light before you pass away. Right? Just call it what it is. I'm through. I'm through pulling punches. Is the bottom line. And I don't care what it costs me, because the bottom line is it's already, not doing that has already cost me, more than I can pay. So
yeah, and I just
we'll do anything we can to not elect a woman, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, the Democratic candidate and the Democratic Party is fucked too. I mean, if I can just and I would never say, oh yeah, vote third party, because the bottom line is that I will vote for a fucked Democratic Party just because of the fact that they're both pretty shitty, but one's way shittier than the other.
Right.
And if I hear one more person fucking tell me, it's like, well, both sides doesn't fucking matter. Yeah, it does fucking matter. You fucking piece of shit. It's just like you the people that didn't even bother to vote. I probably like
65% of people, 35% of people didn't even bother to vote, and yeah.
I feel like I want to. I mean,
we voted with North Korea, China, and Russia regarding the Ukrainian war in the UN.
Yes.
Let's just call that one out for a moment.
Where the rest of the world's like, are you fucking serious? And we're like, yep.
Yep.
I mean, I feel like it's just fucking Looney Tunes. I mean, it's
Yep.
And it's just like, I mean, I don't know.
As you guys know, I strongly considered not joining the call this week because I don't want to go into a rage and say things publicly that I regret. And so we'll see. I mean, if I unplug, you guys know why. But the only saving grace, I have 6 weeks to figure out my problem. I have 6 weeks to figure out solving $100,000 problem.
Well, I mean, and that's like Shane. I called Shane today, and I was just like,
my production finishes in 2 days.
Right.
I'm not shipping it, by the way.
No.
It can sit in China for as long as it needs to.
Right. Yeah. Yep.
Now I know you don't have that same luxury.
Nope, I don't.
Because you've sold it already.
Oh, you absolutely can.
Oh, yeah, no, absolutely I could. I don't have connections in any way. That would be done through my publish partner.
Yeah, sure.
And hopefully they can figure it out.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, exactly.
No,
Thank
you,
Andy,
honestly,
that berserker rage is correct.
I will tell you like right now, Scott. I mean, your backers will understand. I mean, 100%. you can, and the thing when COVID,
no, they won't understand. The Europeans and the Asians will go, well, why don't you just ship my games? Which might have some merit, but
when COVID happened, I mean, like we told people, it's like, oh yeah, well, to get a container right now, it's $24,000 instead of $2,500. So we're not shipping anything until containers go down to a reasonable price. And we just told them and we just said we can't do it. We financially can't support our company
Yep.
and pay this price. And yeah, there were a few people that are like, well, I'll pay to have my personal game shipped to me. And I'm like, well, that doesn't work like that. I mean, I
Yeah,
get what you're
exactly.
saying, but it doesn't fucking work like that. I mean,
The other thing that kind of cracked me up a little bit, this is part of my grievance as well, is so people started discussing the tariffs in the general channel of my Discord server, which I want my Discord server, number one, to be a safe place. Number two, I want that general channel, which is where you land when you first join. I want it to be clean of rage and clean of tariff talk and all that. I want it to be about the game, right? So I created a tariff discussion channel. And, it was about 7 comments in before somebody started, calling Trump an idiot, factual as it is. Not really what I want. And then next thing you know, I had the one guy in there that was talking, who was pretty conservative, was like, kind of doing the self-pity moping thing, like, can't even express my opinion because I'm, a little bit center right, without everybody calling me a racist, or not that anybody did on the server, but like, blah, blah, blah. And I couldn't resist. I jumped in. I said, sorry, I'm reserving all of the self-pity for myself right now on this server. So let's not do that here today. Right.
yeah,
If you're
no,
center right, you voted Trump, you brought this on yourself. Unfortunately, you've put a gigantic hole in the boat that everybody's on.
well, and that's just it. I mean, it's just kind of like, oh, I want to support this company. I want you guys, well, then, I mean, yeah, I mean, you probably didn't go into this saying, oh, well, I really want to, you know, ruin the fucking economy. And but I mean, everybody said when he was saying, oh, well, this is how we're gonna do tariffs. And everybody said tariffs is a horrible fucking idea. It's fucking ridiculous if we're actually considering doing this. It's fucking stupid,
Yep.
and everybody was just like, well, I can't believe he did this. I was like, were you
What
were
weren't
you
you paying
paying
attention
attention?
to?
Were you like
Right.
what fucking world were you living on when the campaigns are going on? And that's the part that drives me the most crazy is like it's just flabbergasting to me that like your lives are going to be so impacted by the decisions that are being made, and you couldn't be bothered to pay attention for 5 seconds to like figure out what was going on. But I got them libs. I voted for him so I could get those libs. Oh, you
Right.
fucking I don't I am not a person that like thinks violent thoughts a lot, but but I'm also just like it, no, I just shouldn't say
Right. I'm right.
anything. But
I'm right there with you.
yeah. But now before us is here, so I can tell you guys my funny grievance where like Scott already heard about this. It's like he's like, oh, you got to share that with people. So the other day, this is like oh, I think it was on Monday. I think it was Monday. No idea. Uh so this past weekend, my mother has this like kind of gumball that she likes. And sometimes I'll like just order one off Amazon, and like, for like $20 you can get a bag of these gumballs. And I just send them to my mom's house. It's like
Were they
and
double bubble?
you already asked the question.
I'm
Yes.
trying to replay our conversation.
Yes, they were double bubble hot cinnamon gumballs. They're really good, actually. I mean, it's double
Oh,
bubble, so
I didn't know there was a hot cinnamon version
oh
of it.
yeah, they're super good. I mean the flavor lasts for 5 seconds, but I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but they're
Oh, so
but
it's
they're
like fruit stripe.
yeah, a little better than fruit stripe, but they're really good. I mean, it's a quality bubble gum.
Got it.
Anyway, so I was like, well, I well then you should get double bubble hot cinnamon. It's like it is and it's an actual bubble gum, and it's very good. But anyway, so I was like, well, I'm sick of paying like $20 or whatever, like for this one small bag of bubble gum. So I'm like, well, there's got to be a place online that sells bubble gum. So like every once in a while, so I just typed in, hot cinnamon, double bubble, whatever, and gumballs.com came up, and I was like, all right, well, I'll check out gumballs.com, see what their pricing is. And I realized as soon as I went there, this is probably people that have vending machines, right? And they need to like because you could buy bags of like you could get like the little capsules with the little cheap rings in them and stuff like that. Like they had all kinds of stuff that you could buy, like sacks of that stuff. And uh they had the hot cinnamon bubblegum. And then they were like, oh, you can get like a 20-pound bag of bubblegum. I'm like, Jesus, a 20-pound bag. I mean, that's gonna be like that's a I was like, how much is it? And it was like $60 or whatever for a 20-pound bag. And I was like, well, and I was already paying like the $20 for like the smaller, like 1-pound bag. I was like, well, that's a pretty damn good deal on gumballs.com. And I was like, well, how much is shipping? Is shipping's probably going to be hilarious. Like, and I was like, so I was trying to see if they had a shipping chart or anything like that. And they didn't. They said, if you want to get a shipping quote, they said, enter in your address. And I was like, all right, whatever. So I entered in my address and didn't log in, didn't use like Google login or anything, just entered my address and they said shipping to your would be like $33. And I was like, well, I'm not going to pay half the price of the gumball, I was like, well, thanks, but no thanks. I'm not going to.
You might have a gumball habit if you ever spend $33 on shipping of gumballs. I'm just gonna leave that nugget out there.
Well, so
right?
I was like, whatever. And Nathaniel, I see your question, and I'll answer your question, but let me get my. So I just whatever, closed down the site, went back to my life, whatever. Didn't think about that much. And so I sat there, and I was on like that was on the weekend. So on Monday, I went and picked up my son from school. I'm driving home, and we had to stop, and I had to put gas in my car, and I I stopped and I was putting gas in and my phone rang. Now, usually I don't answer on the phone numbers that I don't know who they are, but we hired a company called Dog Poo Crew to clean up our backyard from all the winter dog poop that accumulates over the year. And they were going to come out this past Monday, but we got like 4 inches of snow. Like again, it was like basically the last snow of the year. And so they couldn't clean up. And I had left him a message. I was like, obviously, I don't want you coming out here because my backyard's covered in snow. So please, can I reschedule? So I was waiting for them to call me back so I could reschedule when they could come out and clean up my backyard. So I answered the phone, and I'm sitting there and I was like, hello, and just like, and like, hi, this is, whatever, Natalie from, I don't remember what the name is. This is Natalie from gumballs.com. Am I speaking to Lance? And I just stopped and said, I was like, what? I was like, why are you calling me? And she's like, well, I saw you were looking at some hot cinnamon bubble gum and you didn't put the order in. And I'm just wondering if that's something that you were still interested in purchasing. And I said, wait a minute. I was like, how do you have my phone number? And she's like, well, you put it in on the website. And I was like, I most certainly did not. Now, I'm going to pause here and I'm going to tell you that she's just an employee that's been hired to do these fucking cold call.
Oh, no.
Gumball needs.
And on her profession, when people go, what do you do for a living? She goes, I'm a gumball salesperson. So have some sympathy here, my friend.
Yes. So the conversation that went from this point forward, I was not happy. I was like, no. I never entered. I entered my address, but to like get a shipping quote from you, I used your site, and there's only parameters in there to enter in, an address and a zip code, and that's it. That's all it asks for, and that's what I put in. No, you put in your phone number. I said, excuse me. She's like, no, you had to have put your phone number. That's how I got your number. And I was like, no. I said, that's bullshit. I was like, so there's no reason to talk to me like that. Why? I was like, I don't really appreciate you telling me that I did something that I didn't do. And I don't appreciate you calling me and asking me if I want to buy your goddamn gumball.
So instead of being upset about the tariffs, added stress in Lance's life is how he's treated by gumball companies.
And she's like, well, I don't see why you have to be upset. I was like, I was like, just never fucking call my phone number again. Boop.
Wow.
I went from 0 to 60. And I wasn't like, she's like, how did I get a phone? I mean, she was just adamant. It's like, no, you put it in. I was like, no, I fucking didn't. No, you did. I was just like, so
Sir, you clearly put your phone number in.
so somewhere
I'm
in the
siding with the
fucking-
gumball lady. What about you, Harry?
Sir, your number is definitely
There's
entered by you.
probably a service they pay for the cart abandonment that ties into like some kind of database of phone numbers with addresses.
I don't appreciate your tone, sir.
So I don't know.
Care
I
for your
mean,
tone.
I it's got to be like, you know, some website somewhere that I bought something where I had to put my phone number in, and somebody took that information and it's
Yeah,
part of some fucking
they've got you
database.
tied together somehow.
Yeah, and they got it tied together somewhere
I wonder if
else.
there's a Shopify plugin that does that.
But I was shaking outside the gas station. I was so mad.
What about the gumballs, sir? Would you like the gumballs?
So you don't want the gumballs? Like, can I take it? You don't want them?
Well, and that's the thing that was the most is like, if you had any hope of me actually fucking buying the gumballs, you know,
So
maybe
4,700 gumballs, please.
maybe don't argue with me about saying no. You entered it. Now, how would what do you? It's just like, and Caleb was like, and I look over at my son and I'm just shaking. I'm screaming at my phone. My son looks at me like this. He's like, he looked up from whatever TikTok video he's watching. He's like, just give me this look. I'm like, what the hell?
good
Yeah.
times.
Fucking gumballs.com.
The world's largest trader of inside information about
One
contact
star.
information.
You need to do a YouTube short about that. Just clip that into a 3-minute YouTube short.
1 star for gumballs.com.
That's the kind of shit that will go off, man. Telling you. Just clip.
I kind of want to go to gumball.
Obviously, maybe you didn't put in your phone number, but your computer probably auto-filled it. I was like, just do it. And she's just like doubling down. Anyway, so that was aggravating. I probably overreacted.
I'm halfway tempted
You think?
to just add something. Yeah, you think? I'm halfway tempted to add something just to see if it ever lets me get to putting in my address without putting in my phone number.
I
Ooh, I like those
sometimes-
balls with
I-
the crunchy things on them.
I sometimes wonder. It's just like, what did the people in because the gas station was pretty busy. What did the fucking other people in that gas station that were doing the thing like thought about as far as like what's his deal?
What's his deal?
What's that guy is?
I got news for you.
What?
A lot more than just people at that gas station have that exact thought. Let's just call it what it is, my friend.
Just like don't look at him. Don't look at him. He's
I know,
angry.
right? I know.
Yeah,
You can order 10 pounds of hot tamales off this website.
yeah. Well, don't give him any goddamn money.
I'm not giving him anything. Just-
Do they have cinnamon? Do they have cinnamon bears?
I don't know, maybe.
Yeah.
I see you put your phone number in to get 10,000 hot tamales.
Great. Hey, Lance, what's your phone number? I guess I
Fuck
have
you.
it. I can just put your phone number in right now.
I will kill you.
Please call me. Please call me regarding my purchase.
Tell Natalie all is forgiven.
Hell yeah. Hey,
I don't see
can you
cinnamon
please have
bears.
Natalie call me? I would like to offer her an apology. Here's
Ed.
my phone number. Oh, I'm doing it.
No,
doing it.
I will. Murder.
They have sanded cinnamon drops. Have you ever heard of that?
Uh-uh.
Sanded.
No.
I guess that means like sugar.
I'm pretty sure that's what that would mean.
10 pounds, by the way. $31.99.
Pounds, baby.
Well, that's how you get to $35 in shipping. I mean, let's be clear. It's not like you're sitting here going, I don't know,
They got Sassafras. They got Whorehound.
Quit talking up this website. They're a bunch of thieves. Thieves and liars. Oh.
What are those? I guess they're called seedlings. You ever these little gumballs with like the crunchy outer shell, you know? Like the little speckles.
What
You
are
know
they called?
Seedlings. They have
Yeah,
like the texture, you know, they have like a crunchy
Oh yeah. I've seen those before.
like seeds. Seedlings. Never knew they had that name. Double bubble. Of
Oh
course.
yeah, I see it. Yep. I'm on this website called gumballs.com that is
I heard it's the best gumballs in town.
I mean, what well,
The
their customer
country.
service, their
Country.
follow-up is amazing.
Yeah, that's why they always require to give the phone number.
Right. I mean, otherwise, why, it's of no value. I'm so tempted to just go to a cart just to see if it pulls something up.
I love that there's
So-
comments on these things. Tastes great. Kids love the seeds inside, but some kids said it was harder to start chewing. They also love the looks of the gum. Like,
So,
is that a real comment?
This is be the best thing we could do is we get a hold of Lance's son, have him change all of our names in Lance's phone to Gumball Inc.
Oh yeah.
And then we all just call him.
You're treading on dangerous ground here. Dangerous ground. just letting you know.
Right, Wayne, you're spot on. I'm fairly convinced he's making like a cushion fort out of the cushions from the couch or something.
Did Amy play any games?
Yes, I played several.
Lay it on us.
So I have another grievance.
Please.
The Witcher game that just came out, which I cannot remember the name of it. It's something Witcher, Horse Witcher, something. Hold on, I'll tell you. I think it's the Path of Destiny.
Yep. Path of Destiny is a new
Wild
one.
Hunt. Yeah, just Path of Destiny. I've played a couple different Witcher games now, and I don't think there's any good Witcher games. This game is a Kickstarter, right? It was like I did an all in, as I do.
Yep.
And it comes with 10 boxes, and I'm like, oh, I'm excited, get giddy when I have that happen, get all the stuff. I start opening up, we start digging into it on Saturday. We go through the rules, and I'm like, I started getting like a little bit of a worry feeling. Like, the game in essence is a draw 2, play 2 card game with like zero Witcher tie-in. Like, it's symbols, and
Ew.
I'm just like, what? It's an abstracted card game that
icky.
and there's a somewhat, I mean, it's semi-interesting, but not really, because we played it. Like, you're in a chapter, right? And you're reading Witcher stories, which is fine, but you don't really do anything. And then you play cards, and whoever has the most symbols combined, like as a group, like let's say the magic symbol is the most plurality, right? Of all the symbols played. You go the choose your own adventure goes down the path of the magic, and whoever played the most magic symbols gets a bonus. And if you played it a bunch of symbols of the magic, you get points. If you play the other symbol, the one again, it's like either combat or magic, and there's only 4 symbols in the game, so it's not that deep, right? You would get experience points. And for experience points, you can level up and you get abilities, which are very not fun and not Witcher. They're like card abilities, like card drawing or card, cycling or things like that. And if you get too much experience points, they start turning into points. So it's a abstract card game with a Witcher theme put on it. The artwork is amazing. I'm going to give it that. Like, it is a very good artwork. But the game, there's no game. I couldn't believe it. And it's 10, I've got 10 boxes of this stuff. And I'm like, I can't even
No
understand.
refunds.
Well, I mean, I'm putting it in the library.
Yep.
And
Do you think maybe there's like expansion
So
stuff later that
disappointed.
makes it more of a game?
I don't think so.
You just have to be
I
really
mean, I
careful.
guess there
think,
could
on-
be There could be an expansion in there, but I will never find it because I'm not going to play the game.
No, of course not.
The
That's the
underlying
problem
game is
with
just
IP.
not fun.
That's the problem with IP. Honestly, I'm IP. There are some definite victories.
Yeah.
But man, IP games just tend 80% of them, 90% of them underwhelm greatly, in my opinion.
So we spent like the first half of the day playing this game. Not a half the day, maybe a couple hours. But we broke for lunch but while we're reading the rules, and all the Witcher talk starts coming out at lunch, and I'm like, I don't even know really anything about the Witcher, and I'm like, oh man, this sounds awesome. And they're all like, yeah, it's a really cool Eastern European lore. It's like nothing standard. Everything is weird. Everything is different. There's nothing standard. There's no troll. It's all different fantasy. I'm like, wow, this is really cool. That game has none of that. Like zero. I mean, it's just the abstract. Oh, I played the most magic symbol, so I get points. Like what? I was so
Winning.
sullen after that. I'm like, my God.
Good word.
I was just
Sullen.
dejected.
Somebody
because it's a
clipped it.
gigantic amount of Kickstarter material with minis. By the way, you know what the minis are for? Turn order. It's a turn order. You're playing your minis onto the board to take the 2 cards in a row. Like that's the game. It's such a letdown. I hate to bag on games like that because I know there's a lot of hard work in these things. It's labor of love. But man, I think and they made a lot of money, millions and millions of dollars for this game.
I like how you whispered that, like somebody was going to hear.
I know,
you.
but like, what do I mean, I don't know what to say. But here's the thing: like, I don't know who this game is for. It's not for a fan. I mean, you do read the stories, right? It's in the book. It's like a book. Like you turn the pages, and then based on the outcomes, you go to jump to different chapters. You have different stories than what were written, which is kind of fun, right? I guess if you're really into Witcher and you know all the stories, you're like, well, this outcome would be different if this happened, and that's kind of cool. But like the way to get there is not fun. Anyway, so we put it away.
That's the Path of Destiny said it was?
Yeah. It's a bummer.
It's a bummer, man.
It is a real bummer because I mean, it's just I've tried many of the Witcher games and they're like none of them are great.
I'm gonna watch my Kickstarter critique overview.
Oh, to see what
I said. I'm just curious.
They raised 8.6 mil for a draw 2 play 2 card game.
It's gonna make me sick.
Which I don't know. Like I don't know if that was. And here's the thing: if anybody paid attention to the Kickstarter, which I don't, right? I don't look at, like, I don't do what Forrest does. I just like, oh, that looks cool, back it, right? Like that's my instincts. But I don't know who this game is for. $8.6 million of it. I mean, I would like to read a review where people had fun with it.
I gave it an A.
And maybe see what I missed. If I missed something.
Forrest, what was that?
I gave it an A. Yeah, the people are.
Well,
really
they made $8.6 million, so they probably did something right. I mean, it's a big IP, right?
Yeah, that doesn't mean it's always going to get.
Now it says each tale introduces new rules and new components, so there might be more game here.
Yeah,
but if you look at the board, like the main board, it's all you see the rows of cards. Like I don't think the core fundamental game changes. The rules might change a little bit based on the symbology in the game. Magic. It's magic, combat, exploration, and diplomacy. Those are the 4 symbols in the game.
Currently rocking a 7.5 on this website I'm looking at called Board Game Geek.
So somebody likes it.
Yeah, I'm gonna look at the ratings now.
It sounds almost like it's like just a cozy game for like Witcher.
Maybe. I mean, there's card combos, right? You get some card combos going. That was sort of mildly entertaining. But when you have such a rich IP game and you're basically doing nothing, that makes you feel like you're doing anything in the game, right? Like it's cards that have symbols on them and colors. Like that's it.
For me, it's like one of those things where when people are like, "Oh, you should play like Dice Throne or whatever," and I'm like, "Okay, cool," and I can handle playing Dice Throne for about
I like Dice Throne
25 minutes.
Yeah,
but
it's like
after
an hour.
That, I'm just like, okay, I'm just kind of tired of move this, adjust that. You know,
Sure.
what did I get? You know, I mean, it's like, oh, you're playing with all these people. I don't feel like I'm playing with anybody, but my dice in this board. I mean, theoretically, I'm doing. Yeah, I don't know. Dice Thrones. Obviously, I'm in the minority.
You're in the minority.
when it
Yeah, I
comes to
think you
stuff
are.
like that.
I have a good time with Dice Throne.
I like Dice Throne a lot.
I don't know. It just, but those games, man.
By the way, another thing that sort of was a red flag. I went to go look at the mechanisms for the game after we played. There were no mechanisms listed or none of that. Like, so I'm like, I was basically trying to figure out what are the best mechanisms so I could basically make the game entry better. Open draft was the only mechanism I could find that matched up with anything that the game does. Open drafting.
Well, I imagine there's going to be a lot more opinions very soon because that thing.
Yeah, it's delivering. And I'm pretty easy on games, honestly.
Yeah, you are.
I mean, heck, even like Dragon's Down. I mean, please.
Well, Dragon's Down is a masterpiece compared to Witcher.
Are you going to be Origins or Gen Con with Dragon's Down?
Assuming so the short answer is I for sure plan on being a Gen Con with Dragon's Down. Obviously that all depends on what happens because we're sold out of the game at this point basically, and we have been for a while. You can still get the base game on the Mr. B Games website, but any product we would have for Gen Con or anything else would be is in production as we speak in China.
Well, no, I was just I didn't know if you'd have time for a gameplay. Like
yeah. No, I absolutely would have time for gameplay. I probably will play nothing but Dragon's Down while I'm there. I'm going to be playing it. The plan is that I'll be playing it in the booth the entire time, and then in the evenings I'll run games as well.
Okay. Yeah, because at both conventions I'll have a buddy who'll be more than down to play something like that.
More than Dragon's Down.
Did you say you're Dragon Down?
Cool.
Thank you, Forrest, for ignoring these other trolls on this call.
No, I'm excited to play the game. Like,
yeah.
It's right up my alley. I love Epic.
Hey, Matthew.
Awesome.
Hey, man.
Hello, all.
Hey,
I saw this guy in a video recently.
That was a great video.
I know, kick-ass video.
Really?
Fucking great.
Thank you.
Hope it moves the needle.
I'm going to do another one tomorrow. I'm doing the all play one tomorrow.
They're fun, man, aren't they? They're addictive.
Well,
You're good at it. You got a good tone.
I hate my voice. I really
Everybody does.
Everybody hates their
I
voice.
can see that.
Everybody hates their voice. Everybody.
Oh fuck!
Doesn't
I
matter.
don't mind.
Doesn't matter.
Mine's awesome. What are you talking about?
Doesn't matter.
I hate
it's-
Lance's voice.
I don't know. Your
It's
your
funny,
wife doesn't.
I did a video a little while ago about one of my UX deck cards and the principle of whatever the UX principle was, and somebody said to me, he's like, "You were awfully intense," because I was just like looking in the
You're like in
camera,
the video. Yeah, you're close up.
unbroken the whole time, and I'm like, okay, try and hey KK, how you doing? Try to improve on that, and that was like, I have a tripod at work, and it looks like a green screen, but it's not. It's my red wall at my office. It's hilarious. So I had my iPhone on my tripod, and I actually my mouth was super dry by that was the last take I did. My mouth was super dry, and then I went to go delete all the previous flub takes before. I was literally like hitting all of them in my Photos app for like a good 30 seconds because there was so many of them.
Isn't that funny? It's really hard to do that well.
File up.
There was like 40 or 50 of like the bad takes. I'm like, some of them were like a half a second long, and some of them were the whole 45 almost. But yeah. And then I realized on this one, because most other takes I plan to say like, I've got some games that we collaborated on that I really want to show you, but I didn't say that in this one. I just said I've got some games I really want to show you. And I'm like, oh well.
Yeah.
It's fine. So yeah. No, I'm enjoying it. It's fun. It's I really as things are changing in the world lately,
What?
I'm gonna
What
try
what's
and
changing?
I'm gonna try and do a little bit more to get in front of people's faces, and you know, capital. I try and grasp a little bit more of their mind share, mind space kind of thing, and
Minecraft?
do what I can, but I don't know if it's gonna work or not, but we'll give it a shot, and hopefully I can stick with it.
Dude, the only thing that'll stop it from working is persistence.
Is what?
Persistence. That's the only thing.
Like if you just get bored and don't do it or whatever. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's it. And that is me. That is totally me too, right? So I
Everybody.
just need to kind of stick on it and
not me.
Okay.
Um,
I played
I
a
have
game.
2 more games, by the way, but I don't want to dominate the game talk. If
I'll take the
other
next
games.
game. Take the next
well,
game.
wait.
Very
I told
disappointed.
Nathaniel I'd answer this question for him. He says, "Question to Lance: What are the chances the publishers will shift to direct sale only?" I think the chances are very, very great, or at the very least, what what will happen is that publishers will pivot towards um, like others. They'll take a much stronger interest in advertising their web stores and pushing people towards their site to sell them. The problem is with that is that like we can do it because like there's most game companies, and I shouldn't, I mean, I can't say this for a lot of game companies aren't like in the same kind of world that like Gray Fox is. We have our own warehouse. We handle fulfillment for other companies. I mean, we do all kinds of stuff. And we have temp workforce that we can bring in to ship stuff out when need be. And we sell stuff through our web store like every day, because we've got titles to sell, right? I mean, Champions and Midgard stuff, Deception stuff, Midgard stuff in general. So we get orders for that stuff like pretty much every day. And the problem is that most of these companies out there that are like they don't have a warehouse. They have to like store their stuff in somebody else's place, and then they have to pay them to ship that stuff out and whatever. So they don't have that infrastructure set up. But people are going to chase it. I mean, because they're going to have to, because frankly, distribution models don't really work very well at all. I mean, right now, it's just like, if you're like, oh, I want to get my game into distribution. Well, 15 years ago, you came up with a board game, everybody knew about it. Now, you came up with a board game, well, that's great. 50 other ones came out today too. So the chances that your game is going to be picked up in distribution with any your best bet is like you gotta like hammer on like and start talking to people that can get you connected into big box stores and stuff like that. They can get your game on a shelf at like Barnes and Noble. Like I go into Barnes and Noble here in town, I see like Last Light on their shelf, I see Champions on their shelf, I see Deception on their shelf. So like our games are out there. They're and I sound like I'm bragging, but it's just like you have to like forge some sort of business.
Does your arm hurt?
Yeah, it hurts a lot actually because I went lifting with my son today.
What? Yeah, that's it. I meant because you're.
Bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
Well, he was lifting. He was lifting his ego, Scott. That was the problem.
My son's got an Olympic weightlifting meet on Saturday, and like, he wanted to lift. He has lifting on Monday after school, Tuesday after school, but he doesn't have it on Wednesday. But he wanted to work on chest and arms today. So my wife and we went to the gym with him, and I went and we lifted, and he's going to lift tomorrow. And then he's going to take Friday to recover, and then he's got his Olympic weightlifting meet on Saturday. So,
right,
he's got new personal bests, and
Your
I feel bad. I
most
feel bad for him
respectful-
because he's strong and he's tough, but he's still only 13 years old, and he's as tall and as big as some of the 15 and 16-year-olds that he'll compete against. So he's in their weight class, and they've had many more years to build up their strength, and so the chances of him, he won't place. I mean, he could have perfect lifts on every single one of his lifts, but he won't place because they're all stronger than him. But he's like physically, a taller kid, and so he's in their weight class, which
He's
kind
the
of
most
sucks.
respectful weightlifter I've seen. He places the bar back down versus like the dropping of it.
Yeah. Well, so that one, he says he does that because he just wants to like set it down. But two, it's like some weird thing where they won't let him because he's not lifting enough yet. They say so you have to, but now he's at a personal level now where he can, if he wants to, he can drop him. He's like, it's kind of fun to drop it and hear it hit the ground. But before, like, you have to earn it. You have to get to that point where you can earn it. And so he's excited that he gets
I
to,
get you.
if he wants to. But I think yes, I agree. It's like, and up. And then I'm just gonna gently let this down.
Yeah, he just like slid it right down. I'm like, oh, that's very, very respectful, young man.
Yes, but anyway, so there. So yes, that's my right now. Yes, my freaking shoulders. If I go like my shoulders and my arms and everything, they hurt like hell. But it's fun. It's fun going to the gym with my wife and my son. It's a good time. And anyway,
Forrest, you were going to do a game?
yeah. What's your game, Forrest?
Catan, New Energies. The main takeaway is, why the hell isn't this just an expansion? And it's not it's not better than Catan potentially. So it adds this new event track where essentially you take a token at the beginning of every single round, which can slow things down a little bit. And there's a variety of events that happen. Resolving the events is really quick, but the main new addition is that you build power plants, and you can build inefficient ones or you can build green efficient ones, and the game feels unbalanced to you trying to just play anything but playing green, which is unfortunate.
That green energy.
Yeah, like they really push it. Like there's a card, so they get rid of Monopoly, which probably the best, most fun card in Catan. You know, you'd say maybe road building, but I would not say this of one. But they get rid of it. Instead, they replace it with something where you get 3 resources, but only if you have these green efficient things, which are hard to get. Like they require you to do a good deal of things to get. They also change a main foundational rule. I don't feel like they stress it enough in the rules, but they replace cities with, instead of getting 2 resources, now you get 1 resource and an energy card, which is you need 3 energy cards to build one of these green efficient buildings. And when you do that, it puts green tokens into the event bag. And so towards the end of the game, the people who are investing in green energy are going to start getting like really nice like power ups and stuff. And it just doesn't, like, the only way I could see you winning if you wanted to go not energy efficient is if you just crushed it really, really early in the game, because later in the game you just keep getting penalized over and over again. And there's all these weather things, like there's these tokens that block spots so that they don't produce, and they like some of them block just the spots. So it's like, okay, this 10 won't produce this time, but there's some that go on an entire city, so it blocks a 10, a 4, or a 12 for producing, and it just slows down the game and slogs it a little bit. And I played it 3 times, and I don't ever want to play it again. And it just feels like there's some cool ideas that should be taken and just converted into Catan. And honestly, you could jimmy rig it pretty easily to just make it a Catan expansion. But it didn't feel like something that needed to exist. I don't think it'll get expansions in the future, and I think it'll just be one of those random Catan games in like 20 years that people are like, oh yeah, it's just another one of those failed spinoffs. And that's unfortunate, because I think it could have been better if they would have made it a little bit more incentivized to play non-energy efficient, but I don't think that was the point of the game.
Well, the point of the game is to be fun.
It was.
I mean, it's still all the core Catan stuff, right? Like you're building.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, the other big thing is when you produce an energy plant, if that number hits and you have the energy plant specifically on that one, you get a lightning bolt, which can give you some cool power-ups, like you can hold 10 cards and some other things, but it wasn't. And I've been playing with my kids too. Like we're up to probably about 10 games of Catan played as we're going through the expansions and whatnot. And they were both just like, yeah.
You haven't seen these nights yet?
No, we're right now. We're going through all the Seafarers stuff. We mixed it. We went through the soccer stuff. We played the new Hawaii. We played a couple. We played a fisherman one. We made one ourselves, which was pretty fun. They really like the exploration aspect. But yeah, we're gonna get to Cities and Knights next. I just got Explorers and Pirates, and then my buddy's got Traders and Barbarians, which he doesn't like. Because it adds too much fiddliness with all the different expansions. So I'm excited to play through all of my kids and then be up to date with it, and then potentially be like a Catan guy, because it's like that's one of those things that I've realized covering like my content is if you could be one of the people that covers really popular games, like later in their expansion life when they're like expansion 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's just less people covering the content and it's easy views, like Aeon's End. For instance, a game like that, where it's like if you cover an Aeon's End like expansion, that it'll get a lot of views because there's not many people cover that sort of stuff. But yeah, it's underwhelming, and it's like $70 to $65 on Amazon. Just steer clear. I can't recommend it to anybody. And it doesn't even go 5, 6. I don't. It just feels like a hey, look at us. We like energy efficiency. We're green, cool. And yeah, disappointing. I'm glad I checked it out from the library and did not purchase it.
That's too bad.
But do not tell anyone. I replaced one of the tiles with one of my tiles, so now I have one of the tiles which has a different fancy artwork from Ian O'Toole. So
Vandalism.
I think it makes both copies better because that's one of my favorite things. No, I have like 5 different art styles on my Catan tiles, and I think it just adds. I think it adds to the game, right? Like when you're looking at miniatures, and it's like, oh, I got these 16 units, but 8 of them are in this pose, 8 of them are in that pose. I think it's the same thing. I think it upgrades my game.
Cool.
Why did you have to do it? In secret. Why don't you just go right to the library and say, hey, you know what I'd like to do? I'd like to return this, but I'd like to take this one tile out and replace it with this other tile for my own personal copy. Are you guys cool with that?
Because I don't think they'd be cool with it.
Hey, Uncle Shane! Uncle Shane's logging in.
Uncle Shane is here.
Uncle Shane's gonna give us.
Maybe he's muted.
Have you guys seen? Speaking of influencers for board games, have you seen that Board Games for Two couple? They have like 3.5 million subscribers on Instagram.
No,
it's just them playing like these little, mostly these like mass market kind of plasticky kind of games, but it's incredible. Like they have this amazing following.
So Kabuki Kid said that the Spartacus board game, I rated it a 10. The problem with the Spartacus board game, there was a ton of it that was good, but the combat was broken. Speed was the only stat that mattered. Because it was like if you had high enough speed, you could like move in and attack and leave over and over again. So yeah. But Spartacus was a great game. It had one of the greatest like things where it was like because you would do bids and it was like negotiation and bid, you could backstab people. Fantastic game. So Shane, tariffs. We can't hear you.
You say sheriffs?
Sheriffs of Nottingham.
Great
I'm not
game.
muted.
No, there you go. We can hear you now. So, bunch of rich people basically fixed the markets to make
Yeah.
it so people could
Well-
buy things on the cheap.
What
No,
was there some
No.
kind of collusion here?
no,
It certainly
No
looks
way.
like it.
no way.
Didn't-
They would never do that because they would get in a lot of trouble if they did that.
Aren't there repercussions for manipulating the stock market?
Yeah,
There was laws
absolutely. I
against
mean,
that.
it's very serious. It's very serious.
Huh.
I'm sure this will be dealt
Yeah,
with.
I think did Martha Stewart go to jail for that kind of stuff? Although she didn't really manipulate the market. She had insider information, right? Something like that.
Yeah.
I can't remember what her deal was.
That's the difference. If you can actually manipulate the entire market, then it's legal.
There was like
Yeah.
some.
I'm
They,
pretty
know why I
sure
didn't think of it.
Elon had to answer for a few tweets a few years back.
Yep. Yeah, he did.
I don't know if there was any punishments associated with this.
no. He's rich. Rich people don't go to jail.
Accountability? What's that?
Martha Stewart was rich.
She wasn't rich enough, Scott.
She went to jail.
Yeah, she wasn't rich enough, and plus she was a woman, and they wanted to. They
Exactly.
wanted to
She
stick.
doesn't have a penis, so that's
Yeah, and they wanted to stick her. They wanted to stick her with it. You know, that was what that was. I mean, she probably deserved what she got, but yeah, I don't know.
She has
But
a
didn't-
bigger record than Snoop Dogg. Or
The
Rap Sheet.
sky, yeah, but the sky is falling, and everything's horrible, and nobody's happy, and everybody's trying to.
So, what makes you guys think that the 125% tariff is going to stay?
Isn't going to stay or is
If
going to stay?
if they've been repealed in one day of the other 99% of them, of all the other countries in the world except for this one country.
Because
Why-
it's China.
But why do you think that's going to stay? Why does that one stick and the other ones don't?
Because it's Trump and it's China. And
He
he's
doesn't-
always,
I mean, and my sense is it's going away in a day or another day.
It's some rich, like uber fucking rich business person is gonna, be inconvenienced to the point where they're gonna make trouble for Trump or put pressure on Trump, and it's gonna go away.
Well,
I agree.
overnight the bond market took a dump. That could have been one thing that caused this retraction. Did you guys see that?
No, I didn't.
Well,
Bond
somebody
markets are
said that.
basically all
Sorry,
of our
Robert.
debt, right? The U.S. debt is sold as
Oh,
bonds,
yeah.
right? To other countries buy it, like Japan.
Well, yeah, people were
dumped.
we're dumping their.
Yeah, basically
their,
that means they have no confidence in the U.S. economy.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, somebody said that. I lost my train of thought. Never mind.
Oh, go ahead, think about it. I'll stop talking.
No. Keep talking.
Anyway, it's just that's what I'm wondering. I mean, like I know the 120% is super scary and everything, and it obviously if it holds, it's awful.
Well, it might as well be a
But
fucking
the
million.
fact that it just went away, what's that?
It might as well be a million if it's 125.
Exactly, 125%
Agreed.
might as well be a million.
yeah,
Yep.
I mean,
It's gonna hurt a lot of people badly, and I don't know why that hurt is coming. There's no reason been given.
you
Except for
reminded me of Dr.
fentanyl.
Evil.
Immigrants.
$1 billion. We might as well say a million jillion dollars.
anyway,
doesn't
that's
matter.
my take on it. Like, yeah, I mean, it's gonna hurt if it stays, but the fact that it went away in one day makes me think it's not staying. But
Well, how'd you like to be the person that fucking paid it that one day? And then the next day it's gone.
yeah,
Oh, I remember. Somebody said that
for sure.
Amazon Bezos canceled the shipments from China.
How
So
does
there's
that
no
happen?
products coming into the Amazon warehouse from China right now.
How does that happen?
I don't know. I don't know if it's true or
There's
not.
a lot of
Some-
sellers in Amazon. It's not just Jeff Bezos.
No,
I mean,
no,
I
but
mean,
Well,
obviously
they have their Temu like thing, don't they? They
Oh,
have
yeah,
their like they're like trying to compete with Temu thing.
Oh, do they sell in China? Or they just sell cheap shit?
Yeah, like so like
Like,
Amazon had this
cheap-
at least
Goofy shit. By the way, I finally bought something on Temu. Remember, I think we talked about this. but
And
I thought about ordering. It's actually kind of fun. I got these little ducks. Do you know what this duck is?
It's a
Looks like
predator?
predator.
Exactly. By the way, this is metal. Or no, it's a hard resin. Like it's very solid. Like it weighs maybe half a pound,
Hmm.
quarter pound,
And
quarter pound. Here's
does
my
it,
other
does
one.
it,
Here's the other
does
one I
it
bought.
light up? Does it float?
And
Does
how much was that duck?
I think they were like $5 each, and then like maybe $6 or $7 shipping or something like that. By the way, I
Guys over here.
got it in less than a week from China. Crazy.
Guy's over here bragging about his duck collection.
No, but
while-
I mean,
while the
does
world's
Temu-
on fire.
I mean, is it because Temu is in? I mean, is this a whole Temu play?
it says Amazon canceled orders for multiple products made in China and other Asian countries, according to a document reviewed by Bloomberg.
Fair enough.
And they talk about like beach chairs and
Yeah.
scooters.
I mean,
and
because I bet they've got stuff coming in daily.
yeah, I bet they do. Yeah, hourly.
Yeah, every second.
Gotta be.
Yeah.
There's a steady stream of stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Crap. Crap's the word you're looking for.
Crap.
Yeah, I mean this 125% is untenable for to keep the world turning.
I would think for most industries, yeah, 120% is the end of most industries.
Everybody's like talking about like, I mean, the thing that drives me crazy is like if you go online and you listen to these people fucking saying their shit, like you eventually get like you have these fucking people that are like, well, it's not going to affect me much because I've got a big giant shelf of shame. I've got tons of games I can just play over
That's
there.
great.
So yeah, I mean, super. Thanks. Yeah, yeah, it'll be fine.
By the way, do you work for a company that buys any computers?
Yeah. Do
you think that, or
I saw this video about like somebody pretending to be on like a hotline about it's like remorseful Trump hotline, remorseful Trump voter hotline. How can I help you? And it's just like, oh no, it'll be easy to avoid the tariffs. No. As long as you don't buy cars, automobiles, electronics, it goes on for like 2 minutes. Textiles, silver, just like you'll be fine. Just avoid buying those things and the tariffs won't affect you. Yeah,
People are just by definition selfish, I think, largely.
No, I am.
You fucking asshole.
You are who I was talking about. I just mean, again, we talked, that was my grievance at the start of the call, is nobody's got the ability to do a 360-degree view anymore, right? As long as it doesn't affect me. And there's a very simplistic perspective on board games, which is, right, I can just play myself a shame, or I live in Canada, so the tariff doesn't hit me or whatever. And it's like, there are people who are literally losing their careers or at least potential to lose their careers and whatnot. And that's important to me. I care about that. I care about other people. I like to see other people succeed. I did see a pretty funny quote. It was something like, it was talking about Trump. It said, American people are kind of like the children of a mafia boss. They don't know what their dad does and they don't necessarily want to know, but they also don't understand why your firebomb gets thrown through the front window.
Yeah. Why does everybody hate us, Dad?
Why does everybody hate us? I don't understand.
So lately, Carney has been getting attacked by Chinese AI bots. There's been
Who is? Sorry?
Prime Minister, Canada.
Okay, yep.
Mark Carney, my old boss, actually. Yep. There have been deep fake videos made of him. There's been fake photos of him with like Ghislaine, whatever her name is, with what was the dude, the guy? What's that?
Ghislaine Maxwell.
Yeah, with her. And so they're really attacking because we have an election coming up, right? And Pierre Poilievre is like the Conservative Party leader, and it would be really bad if he came into office.
You guys have any laws on deepfake stuff like that?
I'm sure we do.
I thought there was something in America also, but I don't
New
remember.
Jersey passed a law about that, but I don't think there is one.
Like no federal law.
Nationwide, I don't think there's a federal one.
I thought there was something.
I mean, that shit's so scary because, I mean, there's so many fucking people that they just see one picture and they're like, well, it must be true.
Yeah, like, do I really have to like scrutinize every fucking thing I see?
You
like,
can't believe anything anymore.
Well,
yeah.
Like it used to be, I mean, like this is like little silly stuff like these little YouTube reels or TikToks or whatever of live events that actually happened. There's none of those anymore that actually happened. They're all fucking staged.
Well, it's like,
sure they're for like, entertainment, I guess, but it just dilutes the whole thing.
It's like the shit that's like, you get like one person that says, oh, vaccines cause autism, and then it's just like, no, it isn't fucking true. Well, this one paper though, that's been absolutely 100% vilified and shouted down, and everybody says it's a big giant pile of shit. That's what it says. It's like, but it isn't true.
People believe their own bias because it requires nothing of them. That's the bottom line.
The Dunning-Kruger effect, right?
Yep. All I got to do is, I found this one thing that goes against the 30 things that would require me to change and grow or alter my perception or whatever. I'm like, okay. So you're an idiot. Got it.
Yes, and it's just like I have to share fucking oxygen with these motherfuckers. I mean, it's like,
Yep.
I mean, I have my own foibles too. Trust me, I got my own issues. But I
Can
mean,
we list them?
yeah, absolutely. Like,
Would you like
Okay,
to in
I'll start-
alphabetical order or order of
Yeah,
importance?
right, exactly.
all right,
Descending-
all right, all
descend-
right. Everybody's
descending-
funny.
Descending ranking of impact on the world. There's a whole bunch of different ways we could do this.
10,000 out of work comedians, and everybody's making jokes.
Let's just consult the Lance database here. Hold on.
Yeah, exactly. Hang on, I'm gonna go to Chat GPT.
Yeah. So speaking of vaccines,
Feels like a Gray
Ever
Fox
watched-
Games meeting.
do you guys ever watch that show Surrounded? It's like a YouTube thing, Surrounded, where it's this one person comes on. There's like a table for two. Hey, Luca, there's a table for two in the middle of this like circle of chairs, and there's one person that stays at the table, and it's usually like it's a debate type thing, not sort of a debate type thing, where it's one person for something, and then everybody else around them has the opposite, the anti point. And this one was like this Dr. Mike. He's on YouTube, and he sat down. He's like, he was talking, and everybody else was anti-vaccine. And so one person sits down and starts talking to him, and then and everybody has a flag in their hand around that are sitting in the chairs around. As soon as more than half of the flags go up, that person is like they stop it, and then somebody else comes in and starts talking to this person, to the doctor or whoever the expert is. It's a really interesting show. But this anti-vaccine one, dude, oh my God, it was out there. Like there was, yeah.
I just, when I see, whenever, yeah, I mean, that stuff just drives me fucking crazy. I mean, it's like when I see those people that like want to say, oh yeah, but I mean, like completely unverifiable facts where it's like, well, but I had a friend whose cousin, they had their child they got a vaccine, and they had all these respiratory problems like immediately afterwards, and I mean that's from the vaccine. And you're just like, what? Just like that's your evidence. Here's a pile of medical papers taller than me that will say that's stupid. Well, I know what I know.
Yeah.
Just like,
and it there must be a term for
there is.
when people are confronted with
Tell it to
evidence,
us, Uncle Shane.
or people are confronted with evidence and they just won't believe it. It's like who are you going to believe, me or your lying eyes, kind of thing, right?
Well, it's like that. I mean, just I don't want to make fun of anybody's fucking tragedy, but it's like that fucking family that lost their like 8-year-old daughter to measles, died of measles, that they didn't get vaccinated because, and it was just like, oh yeah, we're sad, but we know that she's with Jesus and she's much happier now. I'm just like, it must just be fucking wonderful to have that kind of like just religious whiteout that you can just sleep at night knowing, well, my dead child is with Jesus, and that's it's just she got called home. An angel got created early. I'm like, Jesus, I just want to drag that person out and shove their face in the dead body. You killed your child.
And
You killed your child.
And when they die and they're in hell and they're like, why am I here?
And in that situation, I would be arrested. I would be the one that's being thrown into the back of the paddy wagon.
Yeah. So our D&D night, we hadn't played together in like 3 or 4 weeks, or 2 or 3 weeks, and so our D&D, we played D&D from 7:30 to 8:45, and it just devolved tonight into just catching up and gabbing. But we needed it. It was good. With all this, like I basically said, listen, I can't concentrate on any of this shit with everything going on right now. Can we just catch up? And
Yeah. Sometimes I've absolutely had game sessions where all of a sudden, like, all we did, you realize that you've just been bullshitting and everybody's catching up on their lives and making jokes and cracking wise, and you realize it's been an hour's gone by.
that's
you're like,
okay.
oh yeah, and that's absolutely okay. It's absolutely okay. And there'll even be multiple times when people, hey, let's get back to the game. And they're like, one more thing. It's just like,
Yeah.
But that's just fine because
It
that's
really
part of it
is.
too.
Because I mean, like, we're all adults, right? And he was telling, like, my DM was telling us, he's like, his other group, there's one guy, only one guy in the group that basically says, if we're not playing D&D, actually playing by 7:30, and then if we don't play till at least 10 o'clock, he leaves. And I said to my DM, I'm like, it sounds like you need to, like, trim your group by one person.
Yeah. You just tell the person, so we're gonna start at 7:31 and we're gonna stop playing at 9:59.
That's
So
exactly what my friend Dave said.
so let me know if you can make it or not. Oh, you can't? Nah, that's a shame.
That's a shame.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah. That's a darn shame.
that's one of those where you just say, well, it's just it's just like, well, it looks like you didn't have to play D&D in a group that didn't meet your needs, and we got to do what we wanted. So everybody won.
Oh, did you hear Chris Perkins is leaving?
From D&D whatever thing, yeah.
Yeah. He gave he's retiring.
Who's he?
Lead game designer, creative.
Got it.
I mean, everybody. I mean, that don't even get me started on these fucking, WotC fucking blowhards who like fuck WotC, fuck Hasbro, blah. Nobody buys their books anymore. Yeah, that's demonstrably untrue. Yeah, it's just like you wish. Oh, they just that's another fucking group of people that like. It's like, really, you're gonna attach your wagon to this? Like, you hate a company so much you're gonna just. It's like they lie about their sales. They're a publicly traded company. They can't do that. Well, they probably still do. Just like it's just like they can't lie about it.
Yeah, people go to jail if they lie about it.
They would. I don't know if are they run by Trump? Because they.
Well,
could.
yeah. I mean, I guess the jury's still out. I guess they could be lying, in this day and age, whatever. But yeah, I just love that, and they're like, well, blah, 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 blah. It's just like, no. I mean, you're just shut up. You're stupid. And you need to stop talking.
Sorry.
Hey, Luca.
Hey, what's up? I don't know if my mic's working. Can you hear me?
We got so many
muted.
freaking Canadians in here.
No.
Who else is
I'm muted,
Canadian?
am I?
Oh, this is
Hey,
Luca.
Luca, is Giancarlo ever going to join us?
I'm muted for sure.
No,
you're
you're
not.
muted.
No,
You're
we
not.
hear you.
Are you hearing me? How about now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, no, my setting was wrong. By the way, about those D&D books, I sold like a bunch at my store. Like
No, they didn't. No, you didn't. Nobody's fucking buying them, Luca. Quit
2025
spreading your fake fucking news, you
2025
goddamn fucking
edition.
lying Canadian.
Pre-orders left, right, and center.
Fucking bullshit.
Oh my god.
You're just part of the fucking the Trump derangement syndrome. You're just fucking making up lies as you go along, you fucking asshole. You
Yeah,
fucking,
I know.
you fucking
The great
well-bearded
Ponzi
Canadian.
scheme.
Go suck on
The
your maple
tariffs-
syrup
The
and ride
tariffs
a
are
moose.
killing me, man. Speaking of maple syrup, I had a little pancake before with some nice maple syrup. It was good.
Nice. I'm gonna go use the restroom. When I come back, we'll do initials. I'll be right back.
Ooh, initials. It's been a while.
Scott, do you need some more syrup? I think it's have you gone through all your syrup?
No, I don't think I need it. I think we've used it that one time we did pancakes.
Oh, okay.
I've sort of removed pancakes from my
You-
diet, unfortunately. I love pancakes though. I actually had them tonight. I had like 2 bites of the pancake. They were
Like
not
you
good.
say, you removed from my diet, but I had them tonight.
No, I know, but like I used to have them more often.
In regular rotation, you mean?
Yeah, it was like a regular thing, but now I'm like, yeah. But I had some tonight.
We did a meal prep on Saturday and Sunday. We made 8 or 9 different things and ended up with like over 30 portions for the freezer.
Nice.
Yeah.
Pancakes?
That's got
No, no. But the morning before, I was in bed. I slept late that day, and all of a sudden, this aroma woke me up. I'm like, "What is that?" Came downstairs. I was like, "I made pancakes. There's 2 on the counter for you." I'm like, "Yes." But I just ate them plain, like
No,
sandwiches.
no designer syrups.
No,
Wow.
we had like some PC stuff, which is like the no name brand kind of stuff. President's choice, we call it here. But,
Forrest,
yeah.
how many board games do you own? You look like you're drowning in board games all the time. Every time you have a different camera angle, and it's like just
Oh, yeah.
board games. Nuts.
Show you the world.
Look at
Oh wow.
Hey, I
that's
worry
a room
about
I've
that
never seen
falling.
before, and it's just full of board games.
Oh yeah, I got an attic full of them. I don't know, like 2,000, I think, when I counted somewhere around there.
Wow.
Oh my god.
You don't
It's a
sell
lot
them?
of smaller stuff too. Like if anything's small, I'll just throw it into an area but never get rid of it. Like
Just open a board game cafe at that point. Like just you know what I mean? Like just
I gotta
rent a local and just
about
shove
it.
it all in there.
And I'm yeah, that'll probably happen one day because I've got quite a few friends, like 3, who legitimately all have separate plans to a board game cafe at one point in their life. So if one of them ends up doing it, I'm like, hey.
Did I tell you that we're
it.
organized? Me and a few friends are going to be doing a con in Ottawa.
That's awesome.
Nice.
When is this?
Let me know. I'm going to my first one in Ottawa soon. Anime something Ottawa anime.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Let me know when you're in town. We'll grab a pint or something.
For sure. I'll let you know for sure.
It's going to be next year. We're not sure of the date yet. We're not sure of the venue yet, but
On the books. It's planned. It's coming up. It's gonna happen.
well, we've had 2 meetings. So.
That's serious.
But no, it should be fun. Hey, Forrest.
Yeah.
Where are you working now?
Stay at home, Dad.
Oh, okay. Are you not working with that company anymore?
No, I got let go last October.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know that.
Yeah, no worries. It was, yeah.
It's a silver lining, man. It's because you need to open that board game cafe.
30 hours a week when
Seriously, man.
I'm trying to be a stay-at-home dad was just, yeah. I was overextending myself.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck I'm thinking of running a con, but it's like, well, I don't think I'm gonna run anything at any cons like I did like the Be Creative Social at Gen Con a couple of years ago. So if I'm not gonna do that, I'm sure I can pick something else up.
Well, I'm in the same boat too, where I really do legitimately want to look into a Bowers Game Corner con that's more focused on being a marijuana enthusiast convention while attaching my brand to it as well, because I know there's a huge market for that sort of thing. I just need to find the perfect venue in Michigan that's like 45 minutes to an hour away where I could set up, for a couple days in advance. Like it's one of those things that I know it's out there. I just need to put the time and effort into it. I've talked to my wife about it. She's in on it. I've got quite a few friends who'd be willing to volunteer time. And
you have the most supportive wife I have ever seen in my life.
Oh my gosh, she walked in on peak madness, because before I got married and tethered down, you can only imagine the level of insanity I was, because it was.
No, I can probably figure it out pretty well. I've had many conversations with you.
Yeah, my wife's a saint, and she enjoys the ride. She enjoys the ride.
Oh yeah, go on.
Exactly. I will
My
pay
wife,
you.
I will
pay you not to go on.
I do
organize
with
the BGCC, the Bowers Game Corner Con.
I do not have a grievance with the fat shots that they have now that they're advertising.
Ozempic
got hers through her insurance, and they work really well. She is slimming down, and she just has to adjust her eating. She's a big fan of it.
Hey folks, I gotta drop.
Though.
You're not gonna play initials, you jerk.
I don't want to embarrass myself again.
Hey, you did well last time.
I know. Didn't you win?
Yeah, you got it. Come on, you're not leaving. We're starting right now.
You won. I never won. I'm
Here we
worried.
go.
It's mad.
All right, let's do it. Right,
The
let's do
initials
it right away.
are B. B. Second letter of the alphabet twice.
Alrighty.
BB. Oh, BB.
Yeah. As in beta beta. Number 1. Was featured on a postage stamp in 1997. Number 2. Competed in a basketball tournament in 1996. Number 3. Had an effect of the American usage of the word Nimrod.
I know this.
Number 4. Sorry. His love interest is Lola.
Matt.
Go ahead.
Beetle Bailey.
And number 5. In 2002, TV Guide ranked this number 1.
That's the
Final clue.
Okay, number 5 play.
This is often identified as the face of Warner Brothers Entertainment.
Aldi.
Oh, yes. Damn it.
I think it's Aldi.
I think-
it
You
was
can go to the tape if you want, but I think I was me too.
I think
yeah, it was Aldi. Go ahead.
Bugs Bunny.
Bugs Bunny.
Look at that.
So the Nimrod thing is like he used Nimrod is like a biblical person or whatever.
Okay.
But and he used it to like call somebody stupid.
What was
And
the
so,
one in
like,
2002? Number 1 in 2002?
In the number one like animated cartoon character of all time.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Here we go. Item number 2. A Hall of Famer.
Yeah. The standard clue.
Clue number 2. Connected to Tibet. Clue number 3. Known for a boutique. Clue number 4. Originated in New York City in 1901.
Aldi.
I think it was actually Scott Demers.
Go to the tape actually because I think
I heard Scott
I did
Demers
say
first,
twice.
too.
Doesn't matter. I got wrong
No, no.
anyway.
Well, go for it. Well, no,
Go
let's
for
go.
it.
Let's go to tape.
Oh, wait, okay,
No,
fine.
we got to go to tape.
Kabuki, go to
Close.
the tape. Go to the
Scott
tape.
D was first, Kabuki says.
Scott
Okay.
D was first. What's your
Fair.
answer?
Yeah, I'm wrong because I got the date you said is wrong. Bill Bradley.
Do you still wanna ring in? Aldi?
Yes, I do. Yeah, it's the
Go
Beastie.
ahead.
Beastie Boys.
Oh, Beastie Boys.
I knew the
Um,
boutique was in my head and I couldn't get it. I was like, Paul's Boutique.
Paul's
Mhm.
Boutique.
I
Yeah.
couldn't, like,
What?
yeah.
I mean,
Oh, damn it.
yeah. I
That's
mean,
the first
so
thing I thought of when you said BB. I was like, Beastie Boys. What was the first clue?
the first
What was the
clue
first
was inducted
Hall of
in the
Famer.
they're a Hall of Famer.
Are they in the Hall of Fame?
They got in 2012. They were,
Okay.
and then they also did a whole like Free Tibet album. They did a live album that was what Free Tibet. Anyway, no. I remember with License to Ill, like it was like everybody on that fucking record, and because it's fucking awesome. But then Paul's Boutique came out, and that was like it felt like that was the album that was like, we'll see if you still like us, because it was
Yeah.
it was
It was
so
a little more hard to get.
yeah, it was so different. And yes, pour it out for MCA. But I mean, Paul's Boutique has probably their best song ever, like "Looking Down the Barrel of a Gun," which is
Eggman.
yeah, but looking down the barrel. Yeah, anyway, um, and they did a really good collaboration with Anthrax that they did together. That was pretty good too. Looking a version of "Looking Down the Barrel of a Gun."
An album that could never be made again.
No, probably not.
They broke sampling with that album.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like they sampled so much, and then all the artists they sampled from were like, "Wait a minute, like we got to put a stop to this."
That's
So
true.
it was basically okay to do it until they did that album, and then everyone they were like, "Wait a second, no, we got to get paid." So
Well, and then the other thing was it was that like I mean, I knew like I must have like Ryman and Steelin' is like probably my second favorite song by Beastie Boys. And I probably listened to that song 300 times, 400 times, 1,000. I don't know. I mean, it was like when I worked at a record store, I would put License to Ill on all the time and just listen to it. And I never made the connection that they used the guitar riff from Sweet Leaf on that until like a month ago. Like I listened to some Black Sabbath and then I was like, oh, I'll put Beastie Boys in. I was like, whoa, wait a minute. I mean, I knew the drums were from Zeppelin, but I was just like, I never put the connection together. It was crazy. But anyway, here we go. Next time. This is the name of a solitaire card game. Number 2. It is also a G.I. Joe character. Number 3. Was the 11th overall pick in 2004.
Luca. Oh,
Go for it.
Baroness.
Baroness is only 1B.
I know. I know. I'm like, oh shit! I just thought of it. Yeah, sorry.
But all right, here we go. Item number clue number 4. A 4-time defensive player of the year. One more time.
Horse.
Go for it.
Barry Bonds.
That's what I was just about to say. I'm so glad I didn't.
Number 5. Its actual name is the Elizabeth Tower. Final clue. This is the iconic clock tower in London, England.
Matt.
Oh,
Aldi.
good God.
Big Ben.
Big Ben.
That's a GI Joe character.
Yep, and and Ben Wallace. That was Big Ben was his nickname. He was a
Detroit
center.
Pistons.
Yep.
Shock the world.
Ben Roethlisberger.
No, that's
wasn't he Big Ben?
Raplesberger.
Wasn't he Big Ben?
No.
I thought
Maybe.
his nickname
He
was
was
Big
called, his nickname
Big Ben
was
was,
Big
oh
Ben.
yeah, Roethlisberger was definitely Big Ben.
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, Ben Wallace. He was a mean player too.
By the way, just so people know, I am using my phone. I got my names there.
Oh, did you see it, guys? All right, here we go.
I got a few.
Number 1. Featured a teddy bear. Number 2. This is slang. Number 3. Their 5-year run ended in 2013.
Matt.
Go for it.
Boston Bruins.
And number 4. Connected to New Mexico.
No clue.
Clue number 5. Included a wisecracking, sarcastic lawyer.
Scott,
Scott,
Breaking Bad.
Breaking Bad is correct. It's all good, man.
It's all good.
How good was that season 2 where they just open up with the teddy bear floating in the pool and you just have no idea what it
I forgot about
represents.
that. Yeah,
And then they the story plays out.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, you're late.
The Scots are cleaning up
stream is late.
tonight.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Item number 5. Still anybody's game. Number 1. Found in the Atlantic. Number 2. Tenuously connected to the famous 2017 Jake Gyllenhaal movie Stronger. You all
that
saw
movie?
Stronger, right?
Oh, yeah,
With
that
Jake
movie.
Gyllenhaal. You all watched
Sure.
that, right?
Nobody.
Number 3. Connected to a bear. Clue number 4 is represented by the letter B.
It's not a clue.
Matt,
Matthew.
Boston Bruins.
Boston Bruins. I was like, if you don't get this one, you already said the one before.
I almost called it just, but I had no
Oh,
clue.
man.
The next clue was have often been seen near a cup.
Because the Boston Bruins are associated with a bear. Get that?
Yeah, the
maybe not,
Bruins.
maybe not a teddy bear, but
No, the Bruin means bear. I graduated from Fargo South High, the famous Fargo South High Bruins. That's
Oh,
what
there you go.
we had a I got to wear the bear costume a couple of times, run around.
did you?
Yeah, it was
Nice.
hot. It was not fun.
No.
Anyway, you're staying. You're staying for the whole thing, Scott. There's no dropping out.
I got to drop.
Where you
Sorry.
gotta go?
Where do you gotta go?
Gotta
Where do you
finish the
gotta go?
popcorn.
To bed?
Next
Number
question,
1.
please.
Number 1. This is a Kanye West song.
Fuck. Wrong crowd for that.
Number
Did
2.
you see his latest controversy? Anyway, we'll talk about it after.
Clue number 2 was in 2006's Game of Shadows.
Dude.
Number 3 was indicted in 2007 on 4 counts of perjury.
Force.
Go for it.
Barry Bonds.
Barry Bonds. Probably the greatest hitter ever.
What
in
do you lie
baseball.
about?
Whether or not he actually fucking
Took
Took
performance
steroids?
drugs?
and whether or not he basically bought them and like yeah he
Oh.
denied any relation to the doctor that was supplying him with everything and
Got it.
you know it's not like Roger Clemens who had his wife say that she was the one that ordered the steroids. Just like what the fuck. Anyway.
Have a good night, gentlemen. I do have to
Oh,
go.
See ya, Scotty.
Take care, all.
Yeah.
See you, buddy. All right. Number 1. Famously mentioned in the 2012 presidential debate. Number 2. Was a guest on the final episode of the Colbert Report.
Matt.
Go for it.
Barbara Bush.
And
Good guess.
number 3. Starred in a 1985 film that included Chevy Chase and John Candy.
I'm all about taking chances tonight. I guess I shouldn't do that.
Number 4. Has a very well-known residence.
Horse.
Go for it.
Bears see bears.
And
Dang.
good guess. It's a quality guess. Number 5. Performed at the memorial service of Jim Henson.
Aldi.
Go for it.
Big Bird.
Oh,
Big Bird is correct. You, of course, remember Sesame Street presents Follow That Bird in 1985. You know, Big Bird goes on a trip.
What was the Big Bird in the presidential debate?
What was it? There was something God, they were referencing it as part of like public broadcasting and stuff like that.
Oh,
And,
right.
You know,
Yeah, I
and
know
just so
He was on the Corbett Report.
What was the 85 movie?
Follow That Bird.
Follow that
Oh.
bird that nobody ever saw. I was thinking it was Vacation there.
Nobody ever
Chevy
saw.
Chase and John Candy.
Nobody ever saw. That's, I mean, yeah, no.
Got 2 greats in it.
Chevy Chase was the newscaster and John Candy was the state trooper.
Hmm.
So, yeah. Because they like, they wanted to like, anyway, and nobody ever saw, let's see, what does it say? Critical was, film has a rating of 92% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Grossed $13.9 million. It vastly underperformed, but it got a great critical response. So there we go. Clue number 1. Appeared in the 2013's This Is the End.
Great movie.
Huh.
Don't know the movie.
Good one.
Was it Super Bowl 35? Connected to sign language in Napoleon Dynamite. Number 4, connected to Millennium.
The TV show.
Maybe.
Shape of My Heart. I'll Never Break Your Heart. And Straight Through My Heart.
Shane.
Shane.
Yeah.
Backstreet Boys.
Backstreet
Oh my god.
Boys is correct.
Give us a couple of bars, Shane.
Should have knew that one.
I'll probably end up
help me
singing In Sync. Okay, I mean, I don't.
Let's see here. We got 5 left. It's still anybody's game. It's anybody's game. Everybody can win right now. Well, Scott can't. Scott Demers can't because he left. But
He's the quitter.
he's a quitter.
What's the score
And-
count? What's the tally?
Well, you have 0.
Aldi 4, Scott B 1, Matt 1, Forrest 1, Shane 1,
Luca has 0.
and
Brutal.
Lucas 0, and Lance 0.
Yeah, I have 0. I can still win though, but I'm probably not going to. Got its origin in 1966. Number 2. Rebranded in 1983. Number 3. Associated with a tag.
Shane,
Shane.
Beanie Babies.
Ooh,
Eh,
Damn it.
Ooh, that's
Really?
that's a good answer. Shit.
yeah, that's good.
Dang,
Good one.
that was it.
If Evan were here, he'd be like, he'd be writing it down.
Where is
I
Evan?
don't-
I need to talk to him.
I
Anyway,
don't think that's a fair clue that you said associated with a tag. I don't think that's a fair clue. I think that was bait and it's bullshit.
I have to agree, man. That's like so
Well,
good.
yeah.
So good.
Clue number 4. Once featured Justin Bieber and Ozzy Osbourne in the same advertisement. Clue number 5. Closely associated with Black Friday.
Aldi.
Go for it.
Best Buy?
Best Buy is correct. No one will ever know the joy of
There
camping
was a
out in front of
commercial?
Best Buy. Yeah, they
With
yeah,
Ozzy and Justin.
you can find it on YouTube's. It's just
Wow.
it's just a dumb
I
thing.
camped out at a Best Buy to get a Xbox. Denied.
One of my wife's favorite stories is that when I was a workforce manager at US Bank and she had just started working at US Bank, I would always take vacation around Black Friday because that was back when like you get a cheap TV. Now you get a cheap TV any day. But I was like, oh, I want to get a cheap TV or whatever. And so I would and like for like 2 or 3 years running, I was the first person in line at Best Buy. Like I go get in line on Thanksgiving,
What
and
would you
I
buy? Did you get
usually like I mean I would save up
big
my
TV?
money and just I go there and I mean like sometimes I'd buy computer stuff, sometimes I'd buy it didn't matter, whatever. She called in sick so she could go get in line at Best Buy, and she got there, and like I didn't even know who she was, but she knew who I was, and she was like, "Oh, that guy's gonna know I'm here, and I called in sick, and I'm gonna get fired from my fucking job." And so she like hid out for me in line, and then I had no idea she was
Wow.
there. Yeah. All right, here we go. Clue number 1. This included a secret agent. Nathaniel Robinson. For the next 90 days, you can get a cheap TV. Yeah, just like, well, yeah, well done, sir. Clue number 2. This is connected to Lisa Kudrow, Jimmy Kimmel, and Steve Buscemi. Clue number 3. Was nominated for an Academy Award. Clue number 4. Included Puppy Co. Number 5. Did well enough to spawn an animated Netflix series.
Forrest,
Go for it.
Boss Baby.
Boss Baby is
Too late.
correct.
You
Wow.
came in like a second too late. My wife.
Oh, she can't help. There's no teams. No teams.
Oh man.
Pretty solid show.
He's got 0. Give him a break.
I know,
Uh,
man. We both got 0. Me and my wife.
All right. Clue number 1. Was created by Sherwood Schwartz.
Aldi.
Go for it.
Beetle Bailey?
And that's Mort Walker.
I have no clue.
Clue number 2. Has an iconic theme song. Clue number 3. Famous for a grid. Clue number 4. Included Davy Jones of the Monkees. 4-1 out for Davy Jones. Number 5. Included a widower architect.
Oh, God dang it.
Oh.
Here's the gimme. Included one of America's most famous blended families. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Luca.
Oh, Luca. 5,
Brady Bunch.
4. Brady Bunch is correct, Luca. You're on the board. Here's a story
I'll be right back.
Oh
about
yeah.
a lovely lady. So have you ever seen those things where they go and they ask people on the street, they're like, oh, what's the name of the vice president? And they don't know, and they're like, well, what's the theme to Gilligan's Island, or what's the theme to Brady Bunch? They're like, here's the story. It's like
Yeah.
it's just like this fucking world we live in. So Aldi's got it pretty wrapped up. Forrest has 2. If Forrest runs the table, he ties Aldi. Otherwise, Aldi's the big wiener. The wiener schnitzel. Waiting patiently.
Is Boxing Day that bad in the US, or are those videos like actually just like exaggerations?
Well, I don't even know what you're talking about. We don't
What did you say,
celebrate
Boxing Day? That's not a thing we
It's
do here.
bad, but
Boxing Day.
Really?
not so much.
No, they don't do that. It's like UK and Canada only.
And I have shared this story before, and I'm going to leave everybody's name out of it. But there was a guy that I worked with at U.S. Bank, and there was this woman that worked at U.S. Bank, and she was married and he was not, and she was having an affair with this guy, and then eventually like I was like, and he was just whatever. I mean, he didn't think it was going to last forever, but they were like fooling around or whatever, and eventually, she and her husband moved away and like with their family, whatever, and so that was the end of it, right? And for many years afterwards, she was not Canadian. She did not move to Canada. She like moved to like Nebraska or something. But every year he'd get a text that's from her, Happy Boxing Day. On Boxing Day. That was the only thing that was the only connection she ever had with him after that. And like after several years she stopped doing it too. But that was just weird. Just like no like final like, oh, I love you or anything. Just like Happy Boxing Day, comma, his name. And you get the text. You show, hey, got the text. I was like, that's weird.
I meant Black Friday. But
Black Friday is a big deal, and that is a good story, Matt.
Yeah.
It's a good story. Don't you go into the chat and type, and you're not even supposed to be in the chat during the game. You fucking cheater! Take away Matt's point for being.
It's
in
on
the
my
chat.
other monitor. I'm looking here. It's on.
Okay. Fucking Canadians playing fast and loose with the rules.
Am I winning? No.
Yeah, well, you're cheating and you can't win. That's horrible. Anyway, here we go. Clue number 1.
That's it. I'm bringing the chat over to my main monitor.
Appeared on the FX series Rescue Me, which is kind of a problematic view now, but was a very good show.
It's a great fucking show.
I love that show.
I mean, it was some stuff is a little weird at the end there, but I mean, and there's some weird stuff. How about that when he realizes that his brother is sleeping with his wife? He just at the family dinner. Yeah, at the family dinner. And the dad just as they're like just beating the crap out of, he's just sitting at the table, just continues to eat. He doesn't
I'm
even
trying
stop.
to get my wife to watch it, but she won't bite. I'm like,
Yeah.
come on, it's good.
Yeah. Number 2. The 2002 Bon Jovi song Bounce is dedicated to him. Something I didn't know until I went to a Wikipedia page.
Bounce.
Number 3 was once referenced in the South Park episode Sarcastable. Number 4 has been a. Somebody say something?
No,
No, that was just
Forrest.
Clue number 4 has been accused by many people of being a spy. Number 5. Often seen wearing hooded sweatshirts. Here's the gimme. Legendary NFL head coach, now moving to college. Coach
Shane. Yeah, fuck.
Yeah, go Aldi.
Bill Belichick.
Bill Belichick, I would have accepted as well. So
Bill
I would have
Belichick.
accepted Bill Belichick as well.
Bon
Aldi's
Jovi?
sewing up the win, so this is just for glory. Here we go. Last two. Number 1. Keanu Reeves once compared John Wick to this. Number 2. Dwight Schrute bragged about having one. Number 3. Elvis Presley had one. Number 4. This denotes a high competence.
Matt,
Go for it.
big brain.
And
I was gonna say that too.
number 5. Caleb Meister has a junior one.
Aldi.
Aldi.
Black belt.
Black belt is correct. Final clue. Jackie Chan, Steven Seagal, and Chuck Norris are all this. But yeah. All right, here's the last one.
All right.
This was included in the 2001 film Vanilla Sky. Weird movie. Weird movie.
It's very weird.
How's that movie?
Clue number 2. Connected to Drew Barrymore painting in 50 First Dates. Number 3. Connected to a van and a werewolf. Oh, I was proud of that clue. Clue number 4. Connected to the Tom Cruise movie Cocktail.
Matt,
Matthew.
Brian Brown.
And
Fair.
clue number
Literally
5.
the other guy in that fucking movie, but that's okay.
Clue number 5. Once performed on Full House.
Oh, fuck off.
Final clue. They have a connection to Charles Manson.
Matt.
5, 4,
Luca.
3. Luca. 5.
Bob Barker.
And
Ooh, that's a good one, though.
Forrest, you want to ring in? 5, 4, 3.
Forrest.
Shane? Forrest.
Bill
5.
Bailey.
No. Shane, you got a guess?
Baroness.
Ding, 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 ding. Matthew, what's the answer?
Beach Boys.
Wait, I didn't guess out.
Oh, sorry.
Alright, it's okay.
You weren't going to get it anyway.
Oh, I
I
love
didn't
Beach
know what it was.
Wouldn't it
What
be
was it?
nice? Yeah. The
Beach Boys.
Beach
Werewolf in a van?
So the gimme is Manson?
Yeah, that like the famous like Charles Manson would say like he basically stayed at Brian Wilson's house and like wrote
That
songs.
is not
with
a
him.
gimme, Lance.
That's not a
That is
gimme.
not a gimme.
Oh, how do you
The
not?
gimme is like a surfing girl or something like that.
Yeah.
Just what? Yeah. Anyway, that was in Teen Wolf when
You
he says,
can't
"Is it
just
time to
gloss over that.
is it time to surf?" And he like, and then they play the Surf in USA, and he's up on top of the van, and he's
Somebody
surfing on
needs
top
to
of the van.
like redefine your level of understanding of what a gimme is.
Yeah.
Whatever. You know,
Lance's-
whatever.
Lance's
Everybody's got a fucking story.
Lance, you made those up.
Yes.
That's pretty good, man. That's pretty good.
Well, thank you. Thank
It
you.
was a good game. It was a good game, Lance. Good
It
game.
was a good
Oh yeah,
game.
yeah.
Good game.
No, don't give me your good games after you're like, whatever. You suck
Even
at
though I
this.
only
Don't,
got
okay, and
one.
don't give Lance any.
Aldi was 7.
props.
Boom, boom, boom.
Amazing.
Yeah.
How did I
I
do
just,
that?
in my head, I kept saying Bruce Banner, Bilbo Baggins, Bruce Banner, Bilbo Baggins.
Yeah,
Oh,
Nothing.
those are too easy.
I
I
had
know.
one Billy Batson.
Nice.
Oh, I never even thought about that
Well,
one.
I had. What did I have? Buster Brown.
Come on, man.
The Blues Brothers.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Well, that's the Blues Brothers though, so I couldn't use
Oh,
that.
but is it
What?
the Blues Brothers?
I believe it is. If you like you
I think you probably would have got away with that.
Brass balls.
huh. I just watched that
Bob,
movie
Bob
again.
Barker,
Bill
Bill
Glenn
Burr.
Ross. You gotta have brass balls, gentlemen.
Oh, there's a
Bill Burr. Bill
what's
Burr
his
was in
name?
Glengarry Glen Ross.
Bill
Well, on
Burr,
stage. Oh yeah, I mean that
Kieran
was
Culkin, and
I know. I want to go see it. I wish I was in New York.
yeah, it looks really good.
I love that movie and
First
play.
prize,
Both.
Buick Eldorado. Second prize, set of steak knives. Third prize, you're fired.
you're fired. Just so and then so what did you say with Bill Burr's like biggest thing about that? He says I'm in this play and people show up to show it and he said, you know what the number one complaint that they say to me afterwards is they get pissed off because the Alec Baldwin scene in the movie isn't in the play. It was specifically written for the movie and just in the movie.
No, that's a bummer.
And
Oh,
so,
that's terrible.
and so people are
Or
like,
that is-
where's
Where's the Alec Baldwin part?
where's the Alec Baldwin speech? Where's the and they're like,
Is
it's
he
not
playing the Alec Baldwin character?
no, the Alec Baldwin
Oh.
character doesn't isn't in
Oh,
the,
they're not in it.
that the Alec Baldwin character isn't in the play.
Oh,
Oh,
really?
play his shit then.
Took the best part out.
Careful, he might shoot you if you. Alec Baldwin might shoot you if you.
Only if he thinks the gun is not loaded.
This is true.
I started watching that show, The Baldwins. It's not
The
good.
show?
There's a reality show, The
Oh
Baldwins.
no.
Oh yeah, where she kind of complains about her life and who cares.
Yeah, it's. I mean, it's a slice of something.
Where'd you learn your trade, asshole? You know, just-
Yeah, that was good too.
you fucking child.
Yeah.
You know, I love Bill Burr. I really do because I've seen a bunch of clips of him being interviewed on red carpets lately.
Yeah.
And people are asking.
Oh,
him,
his stuff where it's like, why are you asking me that?
yeah. It's like,
I'm a fucking comedian. You know, it's
Yeah.
just like, you know exactly what I
He's like
said.
a dancing clown.
yeah,
yeah,
exactly. I'm like that guy is like
Yeah.
the best.
And he's just like, you know exactly what I said. You've done your research. You know exactly what I said. Why do I got to repeat it? You just take what I said in there. And it's just like, why are you fucking asking me about this? This is fucking stupid that you're
Yeah.
asking me about this. You know,
Everybody
he's-
should be saying shit like that. Everybody.
What the fuck does it matter? You know, just like, yeah, I know. He's
Actually, it is happening more and more because I'm seeing a lot more of those clips that people are actually just standing up to like, that's a stupid question. Why are you asking that question?
but I mean, it's just, there's not enough of them though, right? You know, so it's just kind of
No,
like
there's not.
this fucking world we live in, you know. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just whatever, Shane. You're just as fucking grumpy as I am.
Nah, probably grumpier.
Yeah. My favorite is like we'll go to a convention and like Shane's like, hey, so I'm gonna go eat with these guys at this restaurant. So, you know, if you want to come to eat there, it's like it's supposed to be really good food. And I'm like, okay, cool. And then like everybody's like, yes, we're gonna go do this. Then I was like, I'm gonna go get. I'm going back to the hotel. And Shane's like, everybody's like, oh, is he okay? Is he okay? Shane's like, no. He's just a grumpy piece of shit, and he just wants to go to bed. And I'm like, yeah, that's fair. You know, he's like, did we upset him? Did we say something wrong? Did we do something that made him feel like you didn't? No. He just doesn't want to talk or hang out with anybody. He just, you know, he just wants to. I just want to go back, take a shower, crawl in bed, listen to some fucking radio drama on my fucking phone, and then go to sleep. You know, just.
Doesn't want to be bothered by any of you. He doesn't like people, and you are people. So
No, I like people just fine. It's just after you talk to like 1,000 people at your fucking, you know, you're like, oh, how does this game play? How does this game play? How does this game play? And after 25 minutes, they say, okay, thanks.
Yeah.
Just like,
Thanks for the teach.
yeah.
Thanks for the
Oh.
explanation.
You know, and the thing is, and this is
I
horrible
tried
to
selling
say.
a game at our booth at BGCon. Oh, go ahead.
No, but I just want to say, I wish I could look not like me and people wouldn't know me. So I could do that and just troll every single booth and just say, can you tell me how this game plays? And how does this game work? And how many players does it have? What are the mechanisms of the game? And spend like 25 minutes. Thank you very much for your time. And just leave. And then have somebody film it as you see people, what the fuck? You know, just but no, I mean, I couldn't do that because everybody would be like, you're fucking with me. No, fucking with you. Tell me how the game works. Fuck you, Lance. Get out of here. Just, so then I think they are trolling me. They're just anyway, you were saying you tried to sell a game.
Yeah, when we were doing the the booth streaming and Gen Con and stuff like that, we were selling, we had a store too, and we had Freedom and Freeze's folders. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Cool little product. I must have demoed that thing like 50 times. Zero sale. Lincoln demos it one time. Sale. I'm like, oh no, I'm gonna kill myself now. Can't sell a $20 thing. It wasn't, I don't know, it was like $20. It was $20, yeah. It was a 20. Like literally, like I felt like my pitch was almost identical to Lincoln's. And person whips out the 20 like right away. Done. I sold 0. 50 demos.
A set of steak knives.
I'm like, I'm never demoing a game again to sell.
I had a buddy who worked at a he worked at a if one of the like lowest, like he worked at a cell phone store, like and like like a Sprint store, I think it was, yeah. And like when at a mall, and so when it wasn't busy, when they didn't have people coming in, they encouraged people to go out and walk around the mall in their Sprint uniform and like see it and carry like a clipboard with like and see if they can get people to sign up for their service on Sprint. And he said he just fucking hated it because he just had to walk around and bother people who didn't want to be bothered. It's like, hey, are you satisfied with your cell service right now? And just like, and he said, and I must have talked to like 50 people and just ruined like 5 minutes of their lives while I bothered them when they didn't want to be bothered by me. And I never sold a single cell service. And then he'd get back and he said there was this one guy who's like, oh yeah, I got like 23 people to sign up. And he's like, how? Just like you're like watching these people that get carrying like 7
There's
bags.
Something about it. Yeah, there must be
There's
something.
7 bags worth of shit. And he's just like, no, here, watch. And he's like, here, I'll teach you. I'll teach you how to do it. And he went out and like, he's like, oh, shit, and he went out and just watched this guy do it. And he said, and he was telling me the story, and he's like, so he walked over and he's like, hey, how's it going? And he did his pitter patter with the person, and like, and sure enough, he got somebody to like, yeah, that sounds like a pretty good deal. He's like, that's awesome. Here, take this sheet, take it to the Sprint store. They'll sign it up, whatever. And if you have any questions, here's my thing. And he did the whole thing, and he showed him how to do it. And he's like, okay, so just do the exact same thing I just did. And then he's like, okay, and like, so he's like, this is how you should approach people. This is what you say. And he said, I did the exact same thing as the guy. And he said I had 8 people say, I'm not interested. No, please don't talk to me. Like, please leave me alone. After like 8 people, it's like, yeah, let's just stop. You're not good at this. It's just like
Look for another profession.
He's like, I'm doing exactly the same thing as you. He's like, yeah, I know. I don't know why. You just suck at it. Like,
yeah,
you got an untrustworthy face.
Yeah, I mean, that just makes me laugh, right? It's just like one of those things where it's like, yeah, I went over and I fucking said the exact same thing as everybody else, and it's just nobody wanted to buy it.
Hey,
But
Lance,
what's up?
are you excited about the Phoenician scheme?
The what now?
The Phoenician scheme.
Phoenician
the Wes Anderson movie.
Oh, yeah, I mean, it'll be good because it's Wes Anderson, but I mean, it's one of those things where I think that it'll be his French Dispatch was just kind of,
Yeah, I didn't like the French Dispatch.
but man, oh man, did I like Asteroid City.
Oh, it was so good.
Yeah.
Oh,
I guess I need to watch it again. I did not connect with it.
It's just the layers and the layers and the layers of that one, and just that one 5 minute scene with Margot Robbie just like made me cry. I was just like, oh my
No
god.
spoilers.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I'm not too many spoilers. You said you got to go watch it again. You already watched it.
Yeah, but I fell asleep halfway through it.
That's fair. That's fair.
I couldn't.
Yeah,
it,
no.
couldn't- it didn't keep my interest.
Yeah, no. I mean, Asteroid City is just it was great. I mean, it's yeah. I mean, but we've talked about enough about that.
We have
So I
talked-
was thinking about this. I was thinking about this the other because I was sitting there. I was I don't. But I was thinking about albums that like changed your life like that. Like I was thinking about this, and I wanted to bring it up and like have people like think about it. And they don't have the answer now, but I was thinking about like because I was diving deep into like old stuff that I used to listen to a lot. How like somehow somebody turned you on to um an album or a band, and it just sent you down some like uh rabbit hole or whatever that uh made you like just all of a sudden, wow, this fucking band or this genre of music or whatever. And it's like the very first time somebody played Hit the Lights by Metallica for me. It was like I mean like I was just like, what is this? I whatever this is, I need more of it, and I need all of it, and I need to listen to all of it all the time. And I mean, I was thinking about that. And like there's other things too, right? Like I mean, like the very first time anybody ever like somebody at at the record store I worked at, they said, "Hey, holy shit," they said somebody actually like sold their Built to Spill album. And I was like, he's like, "Is it good?" He's like, "Oh man, this is like one of the best bands ever." And I was like, "Oh, okay. Well, I'll pay the $3 because I got because they turned into the CD." And I played a Built to Spill album for myself for the very first time, and I was like, "Holy shit, this is really good!" Like, and I became a Built to Spill fan like immediately at that.
Was it Keep It Like a Secret, or was it?
Which one was it? It was like it was the one that has oh, I'll have to look it up. I can picture the front of the album. But Perfect
Have a
from
girl
now
with
on.
a. Does it have a girl with like a
No,
butterfly wings?
it was and that is a great album, but Perfect from Now On was the
Oh yeah, it's a great album.
yeah, and then after that I just bought everything that they ever did after that. The Randy Described Eternity is just like
Yep.
oh, what a banger. What a banger of an album. I mean, it was like that. Stuff like that, where it's just like things have been. And so if anybody else is like a moment like that, like the very first time anybody said, "Have you ever heard of Ministry?" I'd be like, "I don't even know what." And he's like, "Here, listen to this." And I heard Thieves for the first time ever. And I was like, "What is this? I need more of this. I need everything that's this. I need
I like the
everything."
original Ministry, but
Oh, whatever. That horrible.
every day is Halloween, baby. That was
Did,
like
did you see
that
that
changed my life.
Did you see they did a super limited album print run for that? Like they
No.
re-released the original Ministry on vinyl. So and it's like they only did like 2,000. And I was like, Ministry album. I was like super excited. I was like, I'll pay the $60 for this.
But it's not the one
And then I was
Ministry you
like,
wanted.
oh, it's every
It's not
day
the
is
Ministry you
Halloween.
wanted.
It's
Yeah.
the fuck. I still remember I was at a used record store or used CD store, and they had this Ministry thing, and I was like, "Fucking Ministry album! I never heard of this, but this before the internet." So I bought it for like the $6. Jumped in my car, put it into the fucking CD player. I was like, "The fuck is this? This is not. This is not
Well,
what
I was that way when I had The Mind Is a Terrible Thing to Taste. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Now I do love that album, but I didn't think it was that when I bought it because I thought it was the Ministry I knew.
Oh no! And I remember I turned around and I walked back in and I said, "Can I get a refund?" And the guy just laughed. He's like, "Yep." As soon as I saw you buy it, because I had my long fucking hair and
What
my
was the name
bad
of
fucking
the
good
album? I don't even know.
Oh fuck!
Was it-
I can remember the picture of it, and I was just like, oh shit. What does the
Hold on, I'll find it.
Yeah, I mean, and it was the picture of Jorgensen and Paul Barker, like looking like fucking the Pet Shop
With
Boys and
Sympathy?
shit.
Yeah,
With sympathy.
with Sympathy.
With sympathy, and I was just like,
No, isn't that
I-
the one with like a rose on the cover?
yeah, and like a little like a hand with long
Yeah, like a
fingernail.
hand. Yeah.
So I remember I saw
Like a
that, I was like,
a
holy
gothic
shit.
cover.
But I remember like somebody played Mine is a Terrible Thing to Taste for me, and then I immediately went out and got Twitch and Land of Rape and Honey, and I was like, these
Land of
fucking,
what?
the Land of Rape and Honey.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but I went over there and I mean, man,
Have
I
you-
was just like,
Do you know Ministry at all, man?
No, I never got into Ministry. I mean, I was a metalhead.
There's 2 versions of Ministry.
I was a metalhead when I was a kid, so
Yeah.
I was like, I was all about.
I'm surprised you didn't get into that then.
I was all about Ozzy, Iron Maiden. I never is Ministry heavier?
It is. It's incredibly
So
heavy.
I was never like a Venom kind of guy. I was always like melodic, not.
you were more of a Peter Parker guy.
I was more of a funny, Ozzy,
I'm Carter.
Geo, Zeppelin, Maiden, stuff like that. Striper.
I think Ministry is more like
Yikes.
a lot of noise.
couple of songs, not all the songs.
You celebrated
Go-
their entire collection. Come on.
Go listen to Lies and tell me if you like that.
Lies.
You will
Ministry
not
Lies.
kill.
All right.
Lies.
On that note, I'm gonna take my.
Or Jesus Built My Hot Rod. That's a good one too.
Yeah,
Okay.
that is a good one. All right, I'm
fading
leaving.
huge.
Oh wow, they're dropping like flies.
Everybody's bailing.
Later, guys. Bye.
See you, man.
See you, Shane.
Right
See you,
on.
Uncle Shane.
I see you,
Bye,
John.
Shane.
Bye.
Yeah, no. I mean,
I went down a Led Zeppelin rabbit hole with my girlfriend in college.
oh,
Like
you
she was
can't-
into Led Zeppelin a big time, and she got me into it. And I'm like, I fucking love Led Zeppelin now.
it's hard to beat the Zepp, man. I mean,
I didn't realize how good they were. It took a, you're like, you start listening and like, this album's better than that though. Oh, and that, oh, this album's really is way better than that one. And you go down the numbers, and then I'm like, is there? I mean, they're near the end. It's sort of not that great, but
yeah, I mean,
they just keep
they
getting
have
better
a, they
and
have
better.
a heyday. They have a heyday, right?
Yeah,
you know,
no,
I
it
mean,
was
like
amazing.
Led Zeppelin 3 is like the
Evolution.
beginning of like where it gets really good.
I mean, I like Led Zeppelin too.
Well, Led Zeppelin 2 is good. I'm just saying that Led Zeppelin 3 is when they really like, I think Led Zeppelin 3 is where they kind of hit their stride and they're really fucking, I mean, that's got you know,
Immigrant Song.
oh yeah, I mean, it's just like, you know, and then you
Oh,
actually,
man. I really like Going to California too. That's on 4, I think.
you know what the best part about Led Zeppelin is that like if you read the lyrics, you realize they're just a bunch of fucking nerds.
They are.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like
the immigrant or isn't the Immigrant Song got a ton of Tolkien in it?
well, no, the Immigrant Song is all about Vikings. We come from the land of the ice and the snow.
Oh,
and,
what's the one with the Tolkien?
the Misty Mountains. Like as
Misty
they talk, yeah, they just sit there and talk about Tolkien, and you know, and you just realize they're
the Ring Bear and all that stuff.
I mean, and then obviously like when you there's I mean it's just there's all kinds of stuff where they just it's just good stuff and they do a good job and they
Houses of the Holy was like another that was like one of the first CDs I ever bought.
oh yeah, it's a banger.
Anyway. And then
what about do you ever did you ever listen to well, I mean, are you a Sabbath guy? If you're a Zeppelin guy, do you listen to
never touched it.
Oh, you should go. You should listen to some Sabbath. I mean, there's a reason why one of my favorite quotes at all.
I like the blues, man, of Zeppelin.
Sabbath is like all over the place, man. I mean, go listen to oh, what's the name of the album? Master of Reality. That's one of my top Sabbath albums, and it's got some melodic shit in there, and they're not taking themselves too seriously, but it's also really that's the one that's got Sweet Leaf on it. Rob Zombie once famously said, he said, anybody who tells you they wrote a new riff, they're fucking wrong because Black Sabbath did it first. You know, and he's like they made every cool riff, and every riff that's come afterwards it's something that they're using a Black Sabbath riff, they're changing it a little bit, and it's just man. Sabbath
I had
is amazing.
2 albums I remember a lot of is I heard on repeat a lot was 9 Inch Nails, Pretty Hate Machine.
Pretty Hate Machine. Oh my god, that was a great. album.
I
I played the hell out of that
Yeah, yeah.
album.
So
That
if anybody ever says to you there no good music came out of the 80s, tell
Yeah.
them Pretty Hate Machine, 1989.
Yeah.
There was plenty of good music in the 80s. Plenty.
Oh no, I mean I'll say, you know, uh you were talking
Pretty Hate
Luca.
Machine was like 89.
89. That's when it was
I had a
released.
chance to go see Nine Inch Nails at a club in Miami, and I turned it down because I had no idea what it was. I'm like, I'm not going.
A buddy of mine turned
Wouldn't that
me
have been
on
an
to
amazing story to tell? Like right now,
Yeah.
1989.
a buddy of mine turned me on to them. He was one of my best friends in high school, and he came back for the summer, and he's like, "You got to listen to the Nine Inch Nails." After our first year in college, and I was like, "Okay." I listened to it. I was like, "This is freaking amazing." He's like, "Yeah, I saw him in concert in Chicago, where he was going to college." And then that summer, or was they were at Lollapalooza, and he and I we drove out to Lollapalooza, and we went, and yeah, saw Nine Inch Nails when they weren't the headliner, they were the
Opener or something.
no, they were the second to the last, they were the penultimate band, because the number one was Jane's Addiction.
Good word, penultimate.
Yeah, but I remember when they had the LED, like this is before they had LED screens, so it was a screen that had the light bulbs, and they said,
Yeah.
and they were going through the bands, and it was like, and they were just like going through the bands, and like, and everybody was just kind of like, yeah, and I got to see Body Count. Body Count was there. Ice-T's Body Count was there. I mean, I was like, Ice-T with Body Count. I was like, I don't want to hear the rap, but all of a sudden he comes out and he just starts fucking playing metal. I was like, holy shit! I didn't know it was like fucking metal. I thought that was amazing. But I mean, the crowd was just kind of like, whatever, whatever, whatever. And all of a sudden, they put Nine Inch Nails up on there, and the crowd fucking lost their mind just when they saw the Nine Inch Nails, like, like just the name, and people got super excited about it. Anyway, Luca, you were saying something about music. You said Nine Inch Nails, and we took over and stole it from you. What were
No,
you
it
gonna
was just
say?
yeah, it was there was that. It was the second one was the Prodigy,
Mm,
the one right before Breathe.
yep.
Name of the album, but that one I listened to a lot of, and for some reason, like you said, you remember when you said you heard a song and you're like, what is this, and I have to have it. For me, it was the Mortal Kombat trailer, like the first Mortal Kombat.
Right.
Stabbing Westward?
The techno riff.
I don't know what it was, but it was like, what the hell is this?
Was it
And
Stabbing Westward? I don't think it was Stabbing.
I think it was Stabbing Westward. If it's the one I'm thinking of, it was. And Stabbing Westward is a pretty fucking cool band.
it was.
And what a great name too, Stabbing Westward.
I don't think even CDs existed or something, because I remember looking for the
No,
tape.
I think
CDs were
CDs.
around in the 80s.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was looking for the, maybe they didn't have any, and so I bought the tape or whatever. But it was sold out everywhere. I couldn't find that song.
I remember when I worked at this record store, and obviously we didn't have a lot of records. It was mostly CDs. We didn't have a lot of records, so I should say a music store. But we had the CDs. We like totally phased out tapes. It was just all CDs. Like we had like a rack of these of tapes over in this and like they were just like, we weren't ordering anymore, and we were just letting people buy them, and so we could run through. And I remember this guy showed up, and he was this younger guy. He was like in his mid-20s, a little older than us, and he said I really want I don't have a CD player in my truck. He was a truck driver. I don't have a CD player in my truck. I need to find nobody sells tapes in town. We're like, we have these. And like we had like 30 or 40 tapes left total. Because like nobody had audio cassettes anymore. And he just said, and he started going through, and he started like putting out, yeah, I like this band, yeah, I like this band, yeah, I like this band. And he started just stacking them up with what we had. And then the owner of the store came in, and he's like, "You gonna buy those?" He's like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Tell you what," he said, he's like, "You can take all of them." Like it was like I said, it was like 20 or 30 of them, right? Like normally they're like, they're $8 or $9 a piece or whatever. And he was like, "Tell you what, if you want to buy every single one of my tapes, so I can just get this section of my store cleaned out, and I can put more CDs here." He said, "I'll sell them to you for like," he was like, 100, give me $115. and I'll give you every single tape. He's like, done. And he just, I remember we put them all in like 2 bags, and the guy was so happy. He was like, yes, I have music I can listen to in my truck. And he was just so pleased. And I was like, dude, why don't you just like install a CD player in your truck? But I was just like, but yeah, the owner of the store, who's no longer with us, he died a few years ago. Jim, he was just like, thank God. He's like, Lance, tear down this section. Just like tear down the tape storage. And I remember I sat there unscrewing the stuff out of the walls where all the tapes were stuck in there. And then because he had CD racks to install in that section already. And so we tore it all down and we installed new CD racks in those spots. So yeah, crazy stuff, man. I mean, it's like stuff like that. I mean, I remember the first time somebody played me an REM song, off of I can still remember the first time I heard a Pink Floyd song. I mean, obviously, like you think Pink,
I went down the Pink Floyd rabbit hole with that same girlfriend.
yeah,
she was a stoner. It was great. Tons of Pink Floyd stuff. I saw Pink Floyd in concert here in Dallas.
But
with, not with Roger Waters, but
David Gilmour.
David Gilmour, yeah. And it poured. Like it was right. When I first moved to Dallas. And it was at the Texas Stadium, like where the Cowboys play. And we got field seats, right? Because it was like we wanted to be close. So we're on the field. And then the rain came. And it just like, I mean, it was just pouring. And
Yeah.
of course, the band is completely protected, right? They got a thing, but they never stopped. And then, the pigs are going out and all the flames and all that stuff was great. It was a good memory. And I remember when we were walking back to the car, like, they were like my nickname had not been given to me about that time. Scott, you're steaming. Like, because my the body heat was causing steam to come off my.
That's crazy.
It was like it was kind of cold and like it's even that cold night when you're like cold and wet and like the steam is like going. It's great.
I remember
nothing. That was a good time.
The last time I saw Metallica in concert, there's a thing here where it's there's a venue called the Fargo Dome in Fargo, North Dakota. Pretty original name, right? Anyway, so they were going to be at the Fargo Dome, and I remember we got our tickets and we have floor seats and we were pretty excited about it. And anyway, we there was a person that lived like 3 or 4 blocks away from the Fargo Dome, and like because parking there is insane, and they were like, we'll just park at our house, and then we and middle of winter, it's like December, park at our house, and then we'll walk over, and we're like, it's 4 or 5 blocks, but who cares, we'll be able to get there, and then when we leave, we can just walk home. So what I didn't figure out in my brain was I was like, all right, that was back when I shaved my beard into the just the stash and the thing. So that was the last time I saw my chin was at that concert because I basically did the Hetfield beard, and I wore my Metallica shirt, my old Kill 'Em All Metallica shirt. I just wore my I wear shorts and my combat boots and my metal gear basically when I went. And I was like, it's fine. Yeah, it's 10 degrees outside, but who cares? I can walk 4 blocks in 10 degrees. I'll go to this concert. And sure enough, I was fine. Walked, got there, good to go. I can't remember who the opening band was. Doesn't matter. Metallica hits the stage. I mean, I got general admission, like we like basically floor pit seats. So I'm just running around, doing the mosh pit for 2.5 hours or whatever they were fucking on stage for. It was amazing. They had 2 encores, just fucking awesome. We get done. And I'm like, oh fuck, this is like one of the best concerts I've ever been to. This is amazing. Let's go. We walk outside. It's now even colder. It's like 0 because when we walked in, it was like 7 p.m. and now it's like nearly midnight. And I am covered from top of my head to my feet in sweat. And I walk outside, and immediately it's like everything freezes. My shirt freezes, and I'm walking these 4 or 5 blocks to this person's house, and I thought I was gonna die. I was like, I am so fucking cold. Like it was like I could feel. I'm like, just like, we gotta get there, we gotta get there. And I remember when I finally got, I dove into my car, I started it up, and I turned the heat on full blast, and I sat in my car for a half an hour waiting for it to warm up because I mean, because I guess I was like, I don't want to bring a jacket with me because I'm not gonna want to wear a jacket when I'm around. I don't want to have any like long sleeves. I'm like, yeah, that was one of the the most cold I've ever been in my entire life was for that one thing.
But in your head, you're like, it was worth it. It was so worth
Oh
it.
no, I mean the concert was amazing and I didn't die. So,
Yeah.
I mean it was worth it. But I do remember feeling like this is the coldest I've ever been. I never want to be this cold ever again. And but yeah, that was a pretty amazing concert. And I'm glad I went to that because it was amazing. Um uh I remember I saw Nirvana about 9 months before he killed himself in Minneapolis. And I'll always just laugh because we got floor seats and it was assigned seating floor seats. There was no general admission, mosh pit, nothing. And I was just like, well, this is gonna be weird to go to like a fucking Nirvana concert and there's not gonna be. And then I was like, and it was at uh the fucking Metrodome. They hadn't turned down the Metrodome yet in Minneapolis. And I remember we were there and I was there with my buddy Greg and a few other guys and we got our assigned seats. And I can't remember the opening bands to save my life. I think the Toadies was one of them, but it doesn't matter. And everybody was just kind of watching everything like that. And then okay, fine, we get through their 2 opening bands. We're gonna get to Nirvana. This is right after In Utero came out. And the way they did it was the chairs were folding chairs. I might have told this story before, so I apologize. But they're these folding chairs, and they had, and I don't know how they did it, but they had these these plastic strips that were on the floor, and then the chairs were like pushed into these plastic strips, and there was like a locking mechanism. So it basically click 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 was the front and the back, right? And if you looked at them, it was like, and I remember we were sitting there looking at it, and it was like you if you, and they used the weight of all the chairs to hold it down. It wasn't implanted in the floor at all, but they just all these chairs and the thing was is like I remember looking at it and it was one of those things where when you push it in, it like closes on the top and then like it like locked into place. And there was even a thing that and it wasn't like it was shitty plastic either. It was like thick plastic. And there was a thing where it was like, when you tried to protect a CD from somebody stealing it, you had to have that special key that would unlock the plastic or whatever. And we're like, this is weird, but whatever. And somebody came up with it. And then so lights come up after the last band before Nirvana. Everybody goes and gets a beer, whatever. They're just doing their thing. And they race outside. If they wanted to get a cigarette, they race outside because there was no smoking allowed in that thing. And then we're sitting here, everybody standing around, and then it's like center stage, people all around it, and then it's like, and the lights go down, and everybody's like, whoa, everybody starts cheering, right? And then I hear this noise of like crunch, 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 and like all these noises. And I look back and you can see all these people are ripping the chairs out of like 2, 3 people on each chair are ripping and just tearing it out of the fucking floor, these things. And they're folding it up and they're just throwing them into this pile. And all of a sudden I'm like, well, fuck yeah. And so we tear ours up too. We throw it in the pile and everybody starts doing it. Like everybody fucking Nirvana hits. I mean, I think it was In Bloom was the very first song they come on. Crowd cheers, and like basically there was like, fuck it, no more assigned seating. Like even the people that were like, I want to sit, the people were like being shoved out of their chairs. Their chairs are being ripped out of the ground, and it just became general admission on the floor. And I was to this day, I'm always just like, and I remember like when I was dashing around, I was like, punching people and throwing around and just being like a fucking crazy ass kid at that time in my life. I remember, like tripping over those strips that were on the floor, like dozens of times. I had scrape marks up and down my legs. That was a pretty amazing concert, and it was good show. But I mean, I just remember that day. It was like, well, this will hold them. There's no way this will go wrong. And then, a bunch of kids just said, nope, not gonna work. We're gonna put this to. We're not gonna let you decide that we can't do that. I don't know. I mean, concerts are.
Yeah, when I went to the Nine Inch Nails concert, the keyboards caught on fire. There was like a fire at the theater.
Jesus Christ.
That's
Like, I
crazy.
saw flames coming off those keyboards. They were like dumping water and everything. I'm like, what? What are they just destroying these keyboards on every show? I think they were like Yamahas or something.
Wookie, you might be right about it being Corrosion of Conformity. That was another band that was really good. If you ever heard of like that blues metal is like Corrosion of Conformity, where they did that. That's like that's a good little genre of metal. That they were part of. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, music, man. Like I said, like I listened, like just going. I mean, just listening to "Rhyming and Stealing" by the Beast Boys, just it like transports me. Like, that's the great thing about music, right? It transports you back to like that moment of your life, right? I mean, I remember driving my car around listening to the Beastie Boys tape in my freaking Chevy Nova, just at as loud as I possibly could have it because I just needed to listen to that as loud as I possibly could. And yeah, sucks. It is just that you get old, and then and the bands that you love get old too, and then you never, and then they're gone. They're just gone forever. Like it sucks that there will never ever be another Beastie Boys album because they were so good.
Well, you never know with AI now.
Well, I suppose, yes. I mean,
I don't know if they ever come up with some kind of way of putting all the songs of all the albums of one artist into an AI computer and say make a new album.
it's that's one of those
And be
things that
done.
just yeah, I know. I mean,
Done.
I mean it's just yeah. I mean, it's it's like I said, like I say about Sabbath, it's just like, I mean, it's like they'll never, I mean, obviously, because that's super old, right? But I mean, you think about that, it's just like, it'll never, it's, they don't make music for old people anymore, right?
Mhm.
So,
No reprints. No reprints.
yeah, just, but that's fine. Have you ever listened to like the radio that like what people normally listen to? What's weird is my oldest kid listens to a lot of like older music. It's weird. It's like not a big fan of the new stuff, but listens to like, you know, yeah, I mean it's weird. It's I'm like and then but that kind of reminds me of me too, because I remember I like when I got I was listening to a lot of my dad's records, from like the 70s, stuff like that. So maybe it just continues like that. But
I find myself liking some of the new songs, but I don't find myself liking the person behind it or the band, or it's not like like you used to like a song like Metallica or whatever, and you'd buy the album and you're like, I like most of these songs. Now it's just I feel like everybody's almost a one-hit wonder. Like they have maybe one or two songs that are good. It's not like it used to be that a whole album is like amazing or something.
that was one of the things that I always loved too. It was like you would well, I miss a good music store, perhaps, for one. Like when you would go into a music store and you would just allow yourself to um like you remember going to music stores that like they were like, yeah, I want to listen to this CD, and they let you open the CD and you can go listen to it to see if you wanted
Yeah,
to buy it.
yeah, yeah.
I mean,
I don't know
now, I
what
mean,
it
it's
is,
just
but I remember places that had like headphones on the thing and you could dial in the CD you wanted, but usually it didn't have what I wanted.
Yeah. No, I remember the media plays. I remember you could go to media play, and if you found a CD that like I want to listen to this, they had a shrink wrap machine. So they bust the shrink wrap open and they let you listen to the CD, and you're like, yeah, I want to buy it. They're like, cool. And if you didn't, they're like, it's okay. And they just shrink wrap it up again and go put it back on the on the on the on the floor.
That's what was HMV. It was called HMV in Canada. It used to
Yeah.
allow us to do that. Yeah, it was really cool. Any song you wanted to. You could even show up with a stack of like 10 CDs. I want to listen to all this and be there all day, and it was cool.
I remember that's how I got exposed to Weezer. Like I walked by a display on Media Play, and the Blue album was just like you could stop, put on the headphones, and push play and listen to it. And I remember I heard the very first song, my name is Jonas or whatever, and I listened to like the first like 2 minutes of that song, hit stop, grab the CD. I was like, well, I'm buying this, just like. And I remember that was, you know,
Or see
absolutely.
or reading the insert of your CDs, like while you're
Oh,
listening to
the
that song.
insert.
Yeah.
Like while you're listening to the fucking songs and you're just kind of like, looking through everything. I mean, it's like I understand that, I mean, physical media is like, that you can listen to, like you have the world of music at your fingertips, like with your phone or your computer or whatever. But man, I mean, how good was that? Like, I mean, I still remember, and it's kind of a shit band, but I still remember I walked into a Best Buy once and they had this rack of like the first Disturbed album, and it was on sale for $7.99. It was like,
Oh.
brand new heavy metal, Disturbed. And I was like, I'll pay $8. I don't give a shit. I remember I went out to my car, uh, put it in, and I was like, this is pretty cool. And I remember I was sitting there and I sat there reading the the stuff in there.
Yeah.
Picking up like the Foo Fighters album, and going out in my car and just listening to it. Like I said, the $600 car with the $800 stereo in it, just like because that was what was important.
The subwoofer in the trunk, vibrating everything.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like, like the old saying is, it's just like um I listen to this album all the time. So does my neighbor.
Yeah.
Just like
Yeah. That's true. Yeah.
Um,
My wife had a good point also with vinyls. She started listening to vinyls maybe a year or two ago,
yeah.
and it kind of forces you to not skip songs,
Well,
and
yeah, it's tough
actually
to.
just like enjoy a song. Like now, I feel like everything's so fast, especially like with those speakers that you could just talk to and say, "Oh, skip song, next song," and it's just it's so it devalues. I find it devalues music but when you put a vinyl, it's like you have to hear the whole album.
Yeah.
It's kind of nice.
My buddy Shad always used to say, I always love the fact that like there'll be a single song that'll make me want to buy an album, and then I'll always find another song on that album that I like more, that
Mhm.
you didn't know existed, right? I mean, like the uh not the first Foo Fighters album, the one that had the little ray gun on it, but the second one, which had uh it was the one that really put them on the map. But the one that they had the one song in there that never got radio. Well, it got some radio play, but not really. It was Hey Johnny Park. And that's like my favorite Foo Fighters song. It's just kind of like, and it's just like it just there's certain like it gives me chills every single time I listen to that song. And it's and I would never, if I just listened to the popular stuff, I would never know, because that back then, I mean, remember like when you got Pearl Jam 10, and like you got it probably because you heard Jeremy, or you heard why can't I think of Even Flow, and you're like, this is fucking amazing. And so then you went and then it's just like, but every single song on that album is fucking. I mean, can you imagine coming out with an album like Pearl Jam 10 and just like, wow, every single song on this album is fucking amazing. I mean, I knew friends that just put that CD in and put it on repeat and played all day long. because every single song was good.
That's
Like,
Pro
up,
Jam 10. You said.
yeah, Pearl Jam 10, up and down. I mean, just like I mean, it starts with Once and it ends with Secret Garden, and it's just like not maybe it's just Garden. I don't know, but I mean, every single song is just it's just bam, ba bam, ba bam, ba bam, ba bam, one after the other, just great. I mean, Nirvana might have been like the grunge band that opened the door, but I mean, but you couldn't say that really about any Nirvana album. I mean, they had songs that were less than, but I just can't even imagine like having like, yeah, I made that where every single song is great. Um,
I gotta revisit that one then.
I remember when I was at a party and like somebody just had like a TV on that was on MTV or something or whatever, and uh and it was like the volume was barely on, and all of a sudden the song Sex Type Thing by Stone Temple Pilots was on there, and I was like, what is this? And I kind of got closer to the TV so I could hear the song. And then that was back when I was just like, I'm like 8 beers in at this fucking kegger, but I love this fucking song. I was like, does somebody have a pen? Does somebody have a pen? I was like writing, I was like scrawling, Stone Temple Pilots. And then I remember the next morning, I woke up and I was like, what was that?
Oh no.
And I was able to figure it out, like the neurons tied together, and I went out and I bought the album like that day, and I was just like, and that
On
was
that one song. Yeah, on that one
off that
song.
one song, and the rest of that song is the rest of that album is just a banger, like front to center too.
But see, that's what was good back then. Now it's like if you like a song, or I don't even know if people are buying songs anymore, but at one point it was just 99 cents to buy one song, and then you wouldn't discover the rest of the like you wouldn't be able to see what else they've done. You're just buying that one song. I don't know. It's too bad, really.
Yeah,
That whole phase of buying a song for 99 cents was...
Well, and so I don't want to sound like, oh, back in my day, blah 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 blah. I'm not.
Why not?
I'm
It's okay. You can sound like that.
I'm not that kind of guy, right? I mean, it's just like people. It's like sitting down and watching a TV show with my kid, right? It's just like whenever it's just kind of not interesting, like the phone, and it's like I have to stop myself from like saying something, right? Where I have to say, like, put your phone away. It's like, no, if that's how they want to enjoy this TV show or this movie, I need to leave them alone and let them enjoy it how they want. I mean, and I'll just sit here and I'll watch it and I'll enjoy it the way I want. They're not yelling at me, are you just going to pay attention to it the entire time, you loser? Just like, so, I mean, it's just, and so I get it, right? It's just different generations, different people enjoy things differently.
Like, remember, I don't know if it happened to you guys, but like, I remember going to the movie theaters, and when a movie would start or something cool would happen, like everybody would cheer and everybody would like scream or something, like they'd be excited about something. But like that too.
Scott just experienced that.
I went to the Minecraft movie this weekend. It was
you saw
all cheers and clapping.
Amazing, because I haven't seen that in like so long. It's crazy.
I got to go to opening weekends sometimes.
Yeah, you got to go see that.
Minecraft movie is pretty fun, by the way.
Yeah,
I recommend it. If you're
I follow what Red Letter Media says, and they said it was stupid. So
I had a good time.
You can't follow critics.
I enjoyed it. I mean, it's not a great movie. It's not a great piece of cinema, but it is like a fun movie. And Jason Momoa is amazing.
Oh yeah, nice.
I'm not there to watch a fun movie.
I've never played the game, but I could still watch the movie, right? Like
Michelle never played the game either, and she liked it.
Okay.
I mean, there will be references you don't understand, but they sort of explain a lot of. They explain Minecraft fully, like all the little details. Some things will pass you by and you're like, you don't understand it. But if you're a fan of the game, and the cool thing about being in the audience, being in the theater with a audience that knows the game, you knew when something on the screen was important because they would go crazy.
Yeah, that's
went crazy.
I love that.
Yeah. it
You
was fun.
know, when my
Me and
stepfather was
Michelle were
in-
like, we look at each other like, you hear this clap, like the beginning is like, I am Steve, and everybody yells out the I am Steve line. And I'm like,
Oh,
what?
that's amazing.
The guy's name is Steve? I never knew that from Minecraft.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
Crazy.
Just learned things.
my stepdad, when he was still alive, he used to take my kids to movies all the time. And he used to say, I was like, do you even get these movies? Because they, you know, because the kids are like, let's go to this movie or whatever. And he's just like, no, but it's a nice hour-long nap for me. It's just like, you know, just just like here's your lemonade, here's your popcorn, here's your candy. Grandpa's gonna take a little nap. Just like, you know, and that's fair. I appreciate that like, they didn't care. It's just like good for them, but I can't remember the last time I went to a movie. I'm trying to remember.
Hmm.
It was like my wife and I
You
the
didn't
other
go
day.
see Wicked?
Or Dune?
No.
Maybe
Oh,
Dune.
Dune. There you go. Dune was the
Yeah.
last time I went to a movie theater.
No, you went after that. You talked about all kinds of
Dune
movies
2.
Dune 2. Dune 2.
Okay.
Yeah, Dune 2.
And
That's
his
the
next
last-
movie is Dune 3, probably.
Well, I mean, I'm excited to know they're gonna make more. I mean,
There
but
should be none of the. What about any of the
Ugh.
Marvel movies or anything like that? No.
I want to get excited about the movie with
Doctor Doom.
Robert Downey Jr. being Doom. I want to be excited about that, but I'm also just kind of like,
I mean, they
You
have
know?
a comic book to base it off of, so they should be able
Well,
to.
that doesn't mean shit. I mean,
Yeah, but whoever's behind it, it's hopefully. Isn't it the same guys that did the? What's it called? Avengers. It's the same guy, no?
maybe. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's just, I just don't think it'll be. I don't know what's the word I'm looking for here. Good is. I mean, it's just.
You know,
Just
why would you not think it's good?
just because Marvel's just
Are all the Marvel movies not
Marvel's
good?
been screwing the pooch for a while, right? I mean, it's just they've been trying to like make stuff, and it's been very, very, much like the same shit, different day. I mean, it's just, and I mean, that's fine. I mean, I guess Cookie Kid said that they're gonna make another Spinal Tap movie, which I think could be funny, could be very funny. Like, I mean, the Netflix is gonna have Happy Gilmore too, which is gonna be horrible. It's just gonna be absolutely horrible. But the guy who played Shooter McGavin is like, he is, if you go like his like his stuff on X, or I can't think of the name, uh uh Christopher McDonald. So like his fucking uh social media game to like like talk about how it's like, my gold jacket was stolen from me. It's so good. They're just promoting the shit out of it, and I'm excited for that. And I just, because Happy Gilmore was a great fucking movie, and
Okay.
you didn't laugh your ass off at
Oh,
that
it was
movie.
good. I said it was good.
Yeah.
Not the best movie ever, but it was pretty
No,
good.
not the best movie, but I mean, it was hilarious.
It's a funny
and,
movie.
Yeah, and it was good, and it was.
It was.
And
I'm not saying it wasn't.
yeah, and it's just like, and he said something where it's just like, God, what did he say? He said something along the lines of, it was like, it's like, how is it that I had to hit a golf ball off of Frankenstein's fat foot? And you guys, whatever. And I was just like, man, it's just like the guy's just totally like, Christopher McDonald's just totally like, owning it, and he's just having fun with it. And I like that. I mean, it's just, yeah, I mean, I don't know. So I'm looking forward to that. And I don't have to go anywhere for that. I don't have to go to a movie. I can just sit And
The theater we got here is a pretty good theater, so I kind of like going. Although I hate people. We
Yeah.
sat in the back left corner of the theater at Minecraft, like literally the last two seats in the place.
Oh my god.
yeah,
It was so packed. And then, like I stood up at like 5 minutes before the movie started, and like there was nobody in the theater. And then I guess everybody comes late now. Like
They don't want to see the trailers.
I know I wanted to see, we wanted to see the trailers.
Yeah.
Nothing really interesting, by the way.
No, nothing's good.
yeah.
Anything coming up.
Not for me anyway. There's a lot of let's say religious themed movies coming out that I don't really want to watch those.
Hmm.
Animated. 2 animated religious themed movies. I'm like, what? 2.
I watched The House of David with my wife, and
Was that
it was pretty good. It's the story of David and Goliath. It's a show. I think there's only 8 or 10 episodes. It's
really?
I mean, I guess it's religious, but if you look at it
Yeah,
as
it's in the
just
Bible.
yeah, but it's cool. Like the giants are there, and it feels like you're watching like a fantasy movie more than anything.
Cool.
Yeah, it's not bad. A lot of theaters are closing up in Montreal, like the small guys like Guzzo and stuff like that. Like they're all closing.
Hmm.
Nobody's going anymore. It's crazy.
Nobody's going. Everybody's just watching Netflix.
Yeah, the pandemic. I feel like the pandemic made people
Yeah, I mean it was a matter of time.
used to it. Yeah.
Yep.
Or realize how comfortable they are at home. And
Yeah, I mean people have big screen TVs, comfortable couches.
yeah. Oh
Don't have
shit.
to deal with people on their cell phones the whole time, or they can be on their cell phone the whole time and not bug anybody. Perfect. No need for theaters.
No.
But the theater we have in Dallas is a really good one, so I'm going to keep going to it as for the movies I want to see.
Is it like those big ones that have like arcades and
It's an
bowling
IMAX.
alleys?
No,
and
no,
stuff
it
like
doesn't
that?
have anything. It's just it's attached to a
Okay.
mall. It's in a mall,
Okay.
and the mall is like one of the best I've ever been to. So
Nice.
it's a really good mall, and it's packed. It's busy. You'd think they'd be giving away. They were giving away stuff. We went to the Apple store, mobbed, like just. I'm like Michelle, because Michelle wanted a new iPhone, right? And we're like, well, might as well just get it now because the tariff stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, $2,000 iPhone next year
Jesus.
or whatever.
Crazy.
So we nudged our way in to find like one set of iPhone, like because we wanted to look at them, and just so
Well,
many people.
Half the people in there are working there actually. Like
Yeah,
only
no, you
here.
could tell who was working there. At the end of
Yeah.
every table was somebody, and I walked up. There was a table with nobody there. Although it wasn't say nobody. There was a bunch of people around it, but the guy was just standing there talking to nobody. So I
Yeah.
basically walked up to him and dealt with him. But it was crazy. The mall was super packed on a Sunday afternoon.
Nice.
Well, I don't like going to movie theaters anymore. Too many fucking people. Too many
I'm with you. I don't love the movie theater. It's expensive too. It's like I think it was like $50 for 2
That's the
people.
other thing too. It's not like it's a cheap thing to do anymore.
Yeah,
either.
it was expensive.
Do they still do like cheapy nights and stuff like that? Like Wednesday
Not
or
here.
something?
Tuesday nights are cheap, but
Tuesday nights.
Cheaper.
yeah, cheaper.
Yeah, cheaper.
Not so cheap that you can't. I mean, I don't know if you dig a bucket out of the garbage and get free popcorn that way. I mean, that's a pretty cheap way to get it. Wouldn't you say, Forrest?
Always a good plan.
Might not impress the lady you're with, but
Forrest, is that a football game behind you? What is that football guy with a 1 on him?
What?
Right behind you. On your right side. Yeah, there. There's a guy, a football guy.
Yeah, there's a
kicking-
football guy, a guy in a blue football jersey, below vast.
Oh no, that's an autographed picture from Pat McAfee.
Oh, nice.
He signed his crotch.
Classy.
That's cool.
Well,
I'd
it's getting late, gentlemen. We'll leave. Maybe we'll call this to an end on Pat McAfee's crotch. Um.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, the one last thing I wanted to say was I finished I'm late to the scene. I finished the final season of uh Karate Kid, the series, whatever,
Cobra
which
Kai.
I find so amazing that like I YouTube Red, it was like a YouTube TV show that it got sold to Netflix. I find that just so amazing that like it was like YouTube's like premiere show that they're gonna have, and then they
And they got rid of it.
and they got rid of it. But regardless, I remember that was such a cheesy.
There is one preview I'm looking forward to.
What?
The new Karate Kid.
Oh, there's another one.
It's Jackie Chan and
Oh
Ralph
yes,
Macchio,
yes,
Mike
yes.
Macchio, and
Yes.
I don't know who the kid is.
Yeah, that looks
They're doing another Karate Kid with.
Yeah, there's another a reboot, and it's like it's in New York.
And Ralph Macchio's
Jackie
in
Chan
it too.
is Ralph Macchio is Miyagi-Do karate.
Well,
right?
well, yeah.
He's like the last living member of Miyagi-Do or something like that. That's the premise, right? Like Jackie Chan comes to see Daniel in LA, I guess. You know, at the car where the cars are. You can recognize the cars, right? Like Miyagi's place. He's there, and he's like, "You're coming to New York," and he's like, "I don't like to travel," and he's like, see you next week." You know, like he goes to, and it looks good. I mean, it looks Karate Kid. It's a timeless classic.
I remember
Kid.
Remember that game, and then like I remember cheering when he won. I remember being in the
I
movie
love
theater.
Karate Kid. The original Karate Kid.
Yeah.
Love it.
Being there in the movie theater, and then he wins. And I remember like it's like
I don't know if I ever saw it in the movie theater, but I definitely saw it on cable a bunch.
Karate Kid Legends.
Is that what it's called?
Yes. Featuring a storyline placed 3 years after the events of the television series Cobra Kai. It is the 6th film.
It looks good.
In the Karate Kid franchise.
Michelle's like, "Is that Bruce Lee?" I'm like, "No, it's Jackie Chan."
You got to think that William Zabka is probably a little annoyed he didn't get asked to be in the movie.
He might make up a cameo.
I don't know. I mean, how do you have Cobra Kai? How do you have this? And you're like, I mean, I don't know. Well, I guess he did get murdered by that ninja cult in the TV show, but maybe his ghost should show up.
Are you spoiling the show?
No, I'm not spoiling the show. There's no ninja cult that murdered William Zabka.
Ninja cult.
It is absolute cheese. I'm just gonna.
I'm looking to see if he's listed in the cast. He doesn't look like it.
No, it is absolute cheese. That show. So, but it's absolutely ridiculous. There are numerous times when I was just like, what? Just like it's. But good for them and good for them.
So was Jackie Chan in a previous Karate Kid?
Yeah, he with Will Smith's kid, but all of Will Smith's family are insane.
That's right.
And so they don't want to do anything.
Yeah, they're not working with Will Smith anymore.
No, and they never will because Will Smith's family's insane.
Yeah, I didn't like that reboot of Karate Kid either.
It was silly.
It was not good.
It was not good. I did not enjoy this film. All right, everybody, get some sleep.
All right.
Yeah, everybody.
Nice seeing you.
Take care, everyone. Good seeing you. Luca, come on more often, brother.
I'll try, man. I'll try.
All right. Appreciate you making it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
See you guys.